Hey, welcome everybody. It is Rum and Coke night. Actually, it's Rum and Coke day because it's not technically night, at least not where I'm at. But it's going to have to do because, well, I'm not staying up too late tonight. So anyways, I do have the link to join us in the Great Debate community. However, nobody decided to yet. And this thing's really kind of wigging out on me. So let me see if I can fix that. Whatever. It's going to have to do. I don't have any rum tonight. I've got beer. So it's going to have to do. I got some brandy, but I tell you, I found out I don't like brandy. I thought I did. I don't. I bought some moderate priced brandy, but it was really kind of disgusting. So I'm going to use it for cooking. And I'm just going to drink some beer. So as you can tell, I got my layout here where it's got our live feed on this side, and it's got the Flat Earth chat from Rob Skiva's video in the middle here. And I don't know what it's doing here. It's kind of like going weird on me. So let me see if I can fix this real quick because it's just kind of doing some weird stuff here. So let me see here one sec. Whatever. I have no idea what it's doing. But anyway, so if you guys want to come and join. This is going to be the Hangout link over here. Anybody can join. I've sent out about 10 people personal invites, including MP, who did not join yet. But, mixed brandy with apple cider. That actually sounds pretty good, actually. I might have to try that, because it's not cheap brandy, so it should be pretty decent. But if for some reason it just got this, I don't know, I kind of cough medicine taste. But anyways, I want to try to stare into the abyss tonight and find a flat earther like we've been trying to do for R and Raw. As you guys may have seen today, Rachel Oates made a video on Flat Earther, about 16 minutes, and she very astutely relates it to a mental issue as far as being conspiratorial and people that are more predisposed to have some kind of weird ideological beliefs, more so than the average person. Because as we kind of know, and I think most of us by this time understand, there's two types of flat earthers. There's the obvious pose, which I think is the vast majority of them. And then there's the people that actually believe this shit. It's very hard to tell the difference. It was exceptionally difficult to tell the difference. So I want to find one tonight that isn't a PO, if we can, that is willing to engage R and Raw or anybody else, such as myself or Red's Rhetoric, and kind of go from there. Because I think most people right now are kind of at the conclusion that most of flat earthers aren't really. They don't want to have any conversation. They don't want to engage and give us a model. They don't want to tell us why they think the Earth is flat using science or mathematics or physics. They can't. We all know they can't. So that's why I think we've kind of all got to the point where we're just thinking that they're all pose, right? And plus, I think we all want to believe that nobody's that freaking stupid, right? I mean, I think most of us don't want to have to recognize the fact that people can be that dumb to think that the Earth is flat. Spackle, can you add me to green chat? What does that mean, Spackle? By the way, we've added a Discord to the Great Debate community. Spackle's a moderator, Seth's a moderator. It's the place to go hang out. Let's see here. What's the green chat? I don't know what that is. Somebody help me out here. Plus my XSplit is wigging out. It keeps going from 800% to 500%. Not quite sure why. Let me see if I can scale it. Anybody have that before? It keeps going from like 100% to 95%. You guys can't see it, but on my end, the whole XSplit is going like really strange. What is Green Chat Hangout? The link didn't work. You want me to add you to the Hangout? I can add you to the Hangout. Let's see here. Maybe not. Where's my add button? Here we go. The Holy Backle. Nope, she's not. Okay, that's not working. The link didn't work to get in here. All right, let me. Oh, are you on a mobile, Holy? Because if you're on a mobile, I don't know if I'm gonna have a link for you because this is a direct connect link. It's not a normal Hangout like I normally do. I do need to get a barber. Thank you, RSC. Yeah, I'm going to get a little trim and straighten and some other stuff. I don't know how to get you in here, Spackle, if the link's not working. Email. Let's see here. Okay, well, this is the only link that I got here. I know Tony's looking for it. There's Tony. Anybody else trying to get the link? I don't. Yeah, she's on a whole. See, the problem is I don't have a normal link to give you for the Hangout if you're on a phone. When I go, well, actually, you know what? I guess I can go to that one. All right, copy link. Let's try this one. Is that ours? Yeah. All right. I'm gonna put the link in the live chat. Try that. See if that one works for you. Because that one's actually the link to add people, which is usually the one that works for Android phones. So let's go that way. And it can't be sniped because I'm streaming, so I don't really care. And it's got a time delay and all that kind of stuff. So, all right. First, I got to know in the live chat, what are you guys drinking? Because it is Rum and Coke night. You got to have something. So, Dragnaut, what are you drinking? And by the way, I'll show you guys eventually. We got corn whiskey to celebrate the roommate leaving. Corn whiskey. How badass is that? Oh shit! How badass is that? Corn whiskey, right? Hey, look at that good-looking man. Must be Tony.
What's up?
Look at that beard. It's freaking immaculate. Oh my god! I mean, every
there.
hair.
Wow, I just started working, so I had to shave and make
every hair is just perfect length. Wow. Yeah.
What's up, man?
I don't have time for that shit. Yeah, no, not gonna happen.
I'm trying to. Well, I'm eating right now. I was going to come on in like 5 minutes, but I didn't want you to feel like your links aren't working because they were.
Yeah, no, I guess that's why you have
the link that you gave me worked.
Well,
actually, I was already in the call.
I don't know. People saying they're not working, but I think they are. So, but anyways, I've got Rob Skiba's Flat Earth chat right here. This is from his video. This one right here called Flat Earth and the Bible 24/7 Live. Rob Skiba, Dean Odell, Robbie Davidson, Zen Garcia, and more. Don't know what the more is. Don't really care what the more is.
A lot of stupidity. Just more stupid for
you. Yeah, that's what it is. Is that what the more is? Just more stupidity.
Stupid for your buck.
All right, so we are in their live chat. So what I'm going to try to do is you guys need to help me out to tell me what I need to say in order to them not block me right away. Matter of fact, this account that I'm on might be blocked already. I do not know because I've done this before, but I don't think I've done this on this channel. Should we just like give it a shot? Just go for it. Go for broke.
Yeah, I'd just say we're trying to have an actual civil flat Earth debate.
Yeah, the person coming down the stairs was the ghost of my old roommate. Yeah, that was him. No, that wasn't him.
Yeah, right.
Okay, let's see here.
I've been on Nathan Oakley's like every day. I go on Nathan Oakley's Flat Earth. I've been on there. Brenda's been in there every day too.
Well, let's get a Halsoy in here. Yeah, Halsoy loves the Rum and Coke night.
I'm trying to get a couple Flat Earthers that I've been talking to this week.
Yes, this is me. This is me in all my glory and my wizardry, and you should see me when I'm all dressed up, which I normally do actually. But yeah, I'm going for a specific look. It's going to take some time to get there, though.
Yeah, we can tell that you're really getting into philosophy a lot. You're starting to look like Darwin.
I'm sorry, look like Darwin's deity, really?
No.
Okay,
I mean
the other Darwin. Okay.
Sorry.
By the way, anybody see Darwin's Greatest Hits last video? Awesome. Just, oh my God, great A. All right, so let's see what we got. So live chat, Flat Earthers. So, Ola from the Great Debate Community.
I'll be right back. I'm just fish eating.
Okay. Now, I don't know if they can see that, though. So, somebody kind of has to go over there and check it out and make sure that they can see that. Because I don't know if I'm banned from this channel already. It might be. This is the agnostic atheist look, even though I'm not an agnostic atheist, because I think it's kind of the title. Hey, Foo Fighter says, hi, Steve. Hi, Foo Fighter. Let's make sure I capitalize. Foo Fighter. We are live at the moment showing your live chat. Is that cool? Not that it matters, but I like. How did that get so big? Let's see. Hey, is that Dave?
Hey.
All right.
Wow, that did get big.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. Some button got pushed.
So we're doing Flat Earth?
Yeah, well, it's Rum and Coke now. That's usually what we do. Hey, Steve, made another SoundCloud actually. Derek. No, actually, this is my main. Actually, this is my main account. Oops. As I drink more, my typing gets worse.
Mine gets better up until 3, and then it starts fading off. Just like darts. At 3 beers, I'm dead center, and then the more I get, more upper left I start going.
Yeah, you start typing like this, and then you start typing like this, and then you just put the keyboard to the side and say, fuck it, I'll just voice. And even then, when Siri and, what's the other one? What's the one that Windows has? Cortana. Yeah, when they start asking you to stop drinking, you know you probably need to lay off.
Yeah, right. You have had enough?
Yes. Please stop talking to me.
Please stop.
They'll be like, I don't like the way you're talking to me. That's sexual harassment. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear they were actually trying to prosecute somebody for that or something?
What, Siri or Cortana?
No, they were trying to prosecute someone for sexually harassing one of those voices. Like,
so go
AI.
Really?
Like, how do you prosecute?
Sure it wasn't the Onion? It had to have been on the Onion.
It might have been an Onion article, but I wouldn't put it past
I wouldn't either. The way that this
regressive left.
Oh, shit. Why does this keep doing this?
Yeah, we are living in a safe space. It's one big giant safe space.
Yep.
Every day I wake up, there's something else in the news.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like the world keeps going on and crazy stuff keeps happening.
You know what? Let me type this way. I think I got their chat somewhere. Here we go. This may not resize it, so I am still looking for a flat Earth to debate Aaron Ra.
Well, like I said, I've been talking on
Raw.
Nathan Oakley's, and it's been like 5-on-5 every day, and but none of them are like, they're all just one-sided. They only ask questions, they never answer them, and they have like 3 arguments that they just parrot back and forth. And then
isn't that what Darn's deity does? And he's not even a flat earther.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think they all get it from him. No, I don't even think they know him actually.
Yeah, there's a rule of thumb with these people. Don't answer questions. It's more, just try to ask as many questions as they possibly can and get the conversation away from the actual facts.
Yeah, water does not curve. Everyone can see that. Outside of their perceptions, they just don't get it. They don't even get their perceptions. They don't even know what they're seeing. It's sad. It's really sad.
Oh, did they block me already? I'm typing stuff, but it doesn't show in the live chat, so I'm already blocked. Wow, that didn't last very long.
Well, you were,
I didn't say anything bad.
There's intelligence fallacy.
Yeah, intelligence fallacy. You're done.
Well, that's kind of ridiculous. I mean, first of all, I can't change my accounts as easy when I'm doing this way, so I can't just go to another account. And I've just typed something and it doesn't show. So obviously I got blocked. You guys get the impression these flat earthers don't really want to have a conversation with anybody because they know they're full of shit?
There's some of them that don't. Yeah, where you're at right now, Rob Skiba and them, they don't want to. They don't. They don't care. They just want to keep views coming. They want to find stupid people and then hook them because they're con men.
I think you're right on that.
There's some.
Well, actually, I know you're right.
Yeah, there's some that are actually into it.
So I got to find another page.
But he's a con man too.
All right, so let's get rid of this. All right. So what would you recommend? What site should I go to in order to see if I can find a real flat earther, not just one of these idiots?
Well, is Bro Sanchez live? Let me see. Let me see who's live right now. I had it pulled up. Let's see.
You got to find a Sean G that actually has somewhat of an argument, because Sean G just had nothing.
Yeah, he really didn't. He really didn't. So you guys can see me doing this, so hopefully we'll be able to find one. Flat Earth.
Okay, let's see. We got Honest. Nope, that's not it. Right now, Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes is live. Patricia Steer, she's live, but she's going to kick you out right away.
All right, well, let me look at the live here. This is how I go here. I go live, Flat Earth. So this is what we got running. We've got Celebrate Truth, Nathan Oakley, Jamie Brown.
Is he live right now?
Nathan Oakley?
Nathan Oakley?
Yeah.
No, he's not live right now.
Yeah, live.
Gio, we should
live
have
right
you
here.
in here, Gio.
It says live.
Is he? I'm on his stuff every day. Usually it pops up. Like, I've been on his show
let's check it out.
every day for the past 3 days.
Appears to be live.
That's where I was.
Oh, look at that! They got Antonio Super Rats in there. They've got Kerr. I know a couple people in there.
Oh, is it? What the heck? Does he have another? Nathan Oakley have another channel?
No, this is Flat Earth Debate 44.
Oh no, Flat Earth at 44 was today. We're at 45 now.
Oh,
I should be. I'm not on that one. Yeah, that's a repeat. He must just be repeating it.
see, this is what we need to do when if we want to build up the great debate. We need to just run Flat Earth debates. Screw the God question. Screw the science. Just straight up Flat Earth. Nothing but Flat Earth. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, on 4 channels. Flat Earth, Flat Earth, Flat Earth. That's what we're gonna do.
You know how many views he's getting a day? Every day I've been on the show, there's been at least 150 views. Every consistent. Okay, Flat Earth Network is on right now. They're live.
I'll have 4 channels, and it'll be Rachel Oates running one. It'll be Zoe running the other one. It'll be myself, and then we'll pick Red's Rhetoric or something. And then all we'll do is just have Flat Earth channels.
Yeah, I mean that's what Nathan's doing, man. And he has people debating all day. Like usually, he does one in the morning, one at lunch, and one at night.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that one. So let's go somewhere else. Let's see here. How about Flat Earth Friday Cast? What the hell's that?
Sounds shilly to me.
Okay, how about Flat Earth Discernment Videos, OBS Live?
There you go. That's just videos. They just
everyone's a shill.
Yeah,
everyone's a shill.
Everybody's a shill.
Oh, okay. Well, I can just skip this commercial. Let's see what they got here. So they do have a live feed going on here. So let me see if I can pop this out. And I just care about the live feed. I don't want to get too much of the video. So let me add this.
What's up, Halsoy?
Is that Halsoy?
Yeah.
Awesome, dude.
I figured I'd do the courtesy of actually getting the camera active since you're displaying your awesome beard. I'm kind of jealous though. Mine is short.
I haven't seen it yet, so let me see here. Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that! You fine-looking man, you. Now, you know what? I've never would ever turn gay, but I tell you, man, I'm at the point now where it would open up a whole new world to me. Just saying,
So fun fact. I have better game with gay guys than I do with chicks.
Well, don't we all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, back in my heyday, man, I would have guys buying me drinks all the time. It would be like, yeah. But then I thought to myself, it's kind of like a chick when I'm buying the drinks. When they know that I know that they're not going home with me. I just know, right? It's just they're getting free alcohol at that point. So I'm like, it's okay.
You got to watch out. You got a lot of roofies going around.
Oh, this was before that. Back in my day, they didn't have to worry about any of that shit.
Yeah, Rohypnol was definitely a late 80s, early 90s phenomenon.
Yeah, that started taking hold here about the time that when I started going out, or at least that's when the press got a hold of it.
Yeah, no, back in my day, if I wanted to have a chick pass out, I just talked to her.
Well, they have Quaaludes back in the day.
Oh yeah, they had Quaaludes. They had Black Beauties, Quaaludes, Christmas trees. Yeah. All right, so we're in another chat here. Whose is this? This is that. What is this? Flat Earth Discernment. Yeah, you guys heard of them before?
That sounds familiar.
Balloons prove that in homemade rockets can't see stars up there.
Everything's capitalized, so they got to be legit, right? So let's see here. Hi, Flat Earthers. We come in peace from the great. You can't see this typing yet.
I wonder how many of these objections would go away if people took like fucking basic courses in optics, photography, and physics and math.
None of them.
Like we're talking like fucking 2 hours in each course.
No, none of these guys know shit about Shinola when it comes to this stuff. That's one thing they all have in common. One thing I've noticed that's ubiquitous among the the mainstream flat earthers and the mainstream young earth creationists is that none of them have any kind of even basic experience when it comes to science or anything, or math or physics or anything.
People are lost in space nonsense.
Anthony Riley brought some evidence today on the show live, and it was 3 examples of curvature, and he even admitted it.
Wait, what?
He mentioned what?
Yeah, Nathan Oakley on Nathan Oakley's channel. He came on. Anthony Riley came on and showed a video of where he lives. I guess it's really cold. It was like 6 degrees, and he showed a video of the bay, and there were a lot of those wind towers and the turbines, and they were all behind the curve. And he said, "This looks like there's curve," and then there was a tower way far away, and he said that was curved. So I don't know. He might be
Anthony Riley.
Yeah, it was weird. I'll try and find it, and I'll show you.
See, Anthony Riley is actually one I think might be worth considering for R and Raw. If you can actually,
Anthony Riley, I would consider. I think he actually believes his own bullshit.
Yeah, no, I think
he would be good. He would be, maybe not.
Well, I think the problem is he doesn't. He honestly doesn't respond all that well to people that bring pure facts. We've seen this in the Hangouts with Geo, though Geo seems to have made at least some progress with him. But I think Aaron might be too fact-based. I'm not sure if Anthony would actually respond well to that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if the problem is anybody you get with Aaron, it's going to be rough. It's going to be he's wanting facts, he wants science, and he's under the impression, with good reason, I think, that every flat earther out there is a Poe. And it's hard not to agree with him on that, except that I do know some people that actually believe the Earth is flat. So I can't say that all of them are Poes, because I know that's not true. So
does Aaron know all his stuff, though, when it comes to globe Earth? Does he know about the whole parallax, how the numbers work? He knows all that stuff, like, really well?
I got people talking.
Will you say again what?
Oh, I'm sorry. I've never heard Aaron Raw debate flat Earth or globe Earth or anything like that.
No, he never really has. The reason why is because he thinks that they're all.
Know all his. Yeah,
he thinks they're all Poes. That's why.
Stuff. Yeah,
they're ignoring me over here. What's up with this?
Some flat Earthers
unless Aaron gets
sound like they know what they're talking about. They don't.
Unless Aaron actually gets prepared, having kind of like what's the word I'm looking for now? Boot camp in flat Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll actually get stumped, like the same way that I did early on, Riz did early on, and I think Sean did early on as well. Like just like the. Are you seriously this fucking stupid?
Yeah. It's scary.
Right? It's there's this whole hurdle you have to get over, actually realizing the fact that someone can legitimately think this. Right? It took me quite a while before I realized that some people actually believe it. Like, it's not just some joke to them. I didn't have much of a shock,
to be honest with you, Houseboy. I was not that taken aback by it because, again, I look at it this way. Look, I've seen Young Earth creationists for a very long time, and that might in itself, to me, is a what the fuck. I think that if somebody thinks the Earth is 7,000 years old, they're already living in a land of delusion. Going from that to flat Earth is really, if you really think about it, not that far of a jump. It just isn't.
Now, I can see that being kind of like an
I got one coming. I got flat earther coming.
Immunizing factor. But again, so just as a personal anecdote, keep in mind that I live in a country where pretty much no one is religious, especially not that kind of religious. I mean, they exist, but they're far and few between.
That must be so nice.
Yeah. So I didn't even know that things like creationists were actually a thing up until like 4 or 5 years ago or so. Yeah.
So you've been having fun this last 5 years. You've been having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've opened a whole new can of dumb.
Real, right?
It's like I knew of the concept, particularly from the States and some Muslim cultures, but didn't actually think they were a real thing, and at least not as common as they are in certain parts of the world.
I just thought what's worse is once you start looking at this stuff, you can't unsee it. And I told Rachel this earlier today. I told her on Twitter. I was like, and I think I left a comment on her video. I was like, once you go down this path and you start taking on flat earthers, there's no going back, because once they find your channel, you're screwed, because you know how many comments we get from flat earthers all the time, and they're just the dumbest fucking comments in the world. They're not even of interest. If I found one flat earther, just one, that left me a comment that said, hey, I have a working model that explains flat earth, that shows how the angular diameter doesn't need to change, or that why we observe what we observe. I could show you the eclipses on it. I'll be like, hey, that's awesome, come on in. But no, it's not like that. They're all like, you're just a shill. You work for NASA. Your soul is Satan's. It's like, oh, fuck.
Pretty much, yeah.
Hey, Steve, if you have someone called Truth Seeker trying to get in, let him in.
Truth Seeker. Okay, that doesn't sound familiar.
He might. I just sent him the link. He just told me he might come in. He's one of the people I've been debating with this past week.
Okay.
You'll love him.
Also, Just to chat, yes, this is me, Gio, and the people asking, I live in Norway. So, people were wondering where I was living, what kind of shithole I inhabit, where these people don't dare come. I blame the educational system because it actually works.
Our educational system sucks here. I don't know.
Come on, Common Core sucks.
I've actually thought about immigrating to Norway, but then I was like, they actually want you to learn Norwegian before you go there, and I was like, they got
standards. Is that what you're saying?
They actually have an immigration standard before you go there.
It's fairly simple to get a citizenship, as in, like, it just takes time. You can get permanent residential permits. That isn't a citizenship, but that's almost always educational related, or in some cases work related. You could also obviously marry me and move here.
No, thank you.
Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
Tony, maybe. I don't judge. So we have one guy just in all caps over in this live chat, and the other ones I don't think are
either that or they blocked you because you're not getting any messages whatsoever. There you go.
They want a piece of me.
Oh, who wouldn't want?
NASA is a fraud.
That's good. That's solid evidence right there. He typed it. It must be true.
Freemasons, sex cultists, control NASA, always have. Yeah, that's the kind of messages I get on my channel. I'm telling you all the time. And I leave most of them up, but sometimes I actually do have to delete. Oh, I got a weird freaking noise out there. Some flat earther comments I will delete. I will admit that. What the hell's going on out there? Like World War III.
My father-in-law was a Freemason. He wanted me to join. And you know what it takes to become a Freemason? Money. That's all it takes. Literally, that's all you have to do is pay them a bunch of money, memorize a bunch of BS from a bunch of books, and you're a Freemason. Go through some ceremonies.
No, I don't know about that. My grandfather's a Freemason, or he was, I would say, and he actually did a lot in the community. He was part of the Shriners, and they did a lot of charitable things.
Well, yeah, they're good.
And that's all it is a charity, as far as I understand.
How about this
sounds like Scientology to me, but
Flat Earther, Illuminati, esoteric, chemtrails, free energy, and spirituality. That sounds awesome.
That's deep. That's so deep.
That's some deep stuff right there. You guys want to go deep? How deep do you want to go?
Is that like a fucking conspiracy for Full House?
Oh, they don't have. Oh my God, it's over. Bummer deal. Why does it say live?
That rabbit hole sounded pretty fun to drop down, though.
Yeah, dude, but it's not live. Flat Earth FPV. Anybody know what that means? Flat Earth FPVs. Work red pill of life with sun and moon. Family united.
I'm pretty sure they meant to say MVPs, but they get a little dyslexic sometimes.
Oh my God! Look at the live chat. They're all spanner wrenches.
Yeah, most of them do. Like all the flat Earth places I go on, I have spanners in all of them. Pretty
Oh,
much.
you guys can't see this very well. Let me pop this out and show you. The whole chat is freaking spanners.
Steve, I really wish they would up the character limit on the YouTube comments so we could do like a whole. Do you guys watch Internet Comment Etiquette
What is it?
with Eric?
With whom?
Internet Comment Etiquette.
No.
No, sounds interesting though.
It is okay. So it is quite hilarious. It's a guy on YouTube. I can post the link for the channel, but he essentially does like fucking epic troll posts and comments quite a bit, and also pretty much in every video he tweets Ted Cruz about something about riding his dick.
What better
quite
person
funny.
to do it?
And he has amazingly long fucking weird ass comments, and I really wish they would up the character limit on YouTube on live comments anyway, so you could type something along those lines.
Well, they up the
I
Twitter
honestly
characters.
recommend everyone to check out that Internet Comment Etiquette. Just go on YouTube and search for that. It's
my
fun.
God.
Pardon me.
My roommate. You see my
going to-
roommate here? He's touching me.
I'm grabbing
He's
his-
grabbing me
Correct.
inappropriately.
It's
Go ahead.
it's
What are you doing?
assault.
Go ahead.
It's assault.
This is the other roommate. This is the relatively normal one.
Hi guys.
Everybody is the
I work
spanner
with an
in.
intelligence
Except
agency.
He actually used to be an actor. He actually
I used to be.
movies and shows, and he worked with who would you,
Roger Corman.
Roger Cor and
Larry Sanders Show.
I saw you were on the Larry Sanders on the party episode. Yeah, you played her boyfriend.
Janine Garofalo.
Yeah, Janine Garofalo's boyfriend. He was also on Anthony what's her name? Barbeau. Adrian Barbeau. Yeah, she basically was talking shit to him as he was her sex slave or something. Yeah, so he actually is legit. General Hospital. He worked with Punky Brewster.
Cool.
What's that?
Punky Brewster.
Yeah, Soleil Moon Frye.
I remember
he's
that.
friends with her.
I remember that.
Yeah, but I was funny because I watched that episode the other day of the Larry Sanders Show. He played a boyfriend of Janine Garofalo.
Hey, that etiquette channel is the guy that's got a top hat on the avatar.
What's that?
It's like,
Yes, that is the one.
All right, I'm sub to him then. He's got a lot of subs. He's almost got like 600,000.
Yeah. Oh, he's funny.
Cool.
And he also, just to give you an idea of what kind of crazy shit he will actually pull off, he made, I know, I don't mean to hijack anything, just, he made a Patreon, where the sub goal, or the top, they got to decide his haircut, and he cut his hair like a pineapple. And not even kidding, like an actual pineapple with the patterns and the collars and everything.
Okay, I'm gonna have fun. I'll go through all that stuff later.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
So no, see, this is what is funny with these flat earthers. All they got to do is sit back and say, "Oh, you prove globe Earth. You do all the heavy lifting because I don't have shit to show you." That's the dumb fuckery that we see. Sun Moon family. Oh. So hi, Sun and Moon.
It's a frequency coming to wake people up. What does that even mean? I've never understood like a frequency. Like I know what a frequency is, but like how does that relate to?
Well, they think
I got
that,
blocked already.
Of course you did.
Sun.
They think that our our blood has like it transmits energy or it transmits wavelengths or some crap. It's crazy.
So basically, what you're telling me, Tony, is woo.
All right, I want you guys to recognize
Woo.
this. I want you guys to recognize this, that every time we do these Rum and Coke nights, and we've done quite a few of them, where we've gone trying to find a flat earther. It's always been the same thing, has it not? It's basically none of these guys are willing to actually present any kind of evidence. They all want the globe earther. I'm about now ready to tell Aaron that I give up and that I think that 99% of these fuckers are pose.
I think the main problem is, at least, so the earlier encounters I had with creationists, was the fact that they did the same thing as the flat earthers are doing right now, and that is instead of presenting positive evidence for their model or for their way of thinking, it's all about trying to stop the cogs of the wheels of everything else.
Yeah.
So it's like, because I don't understand something, it cannot be true, therefore your model is false.
Right.
Or like this one particular question you personally cannot answer, and therefore everything else you say is false.
Well, here's the thing. Let me ask you, okay. How many of these people you think it is that literally do not understand basic shit? Therefore, like you said, they just assume that it's all wrong, and they want everybody else to explain to them things that they can't understand. How many people do you think in the flat earth community are like that? Give me a real rough estimate, you think.
Anecdotally, from people I've interacted with.
Yeah, anecdotally.
And just in general, I would say somewhere in the close to 90%.
90%?
Yeah.
No, wait,
I
wait.
was thinking
So,
around
wait,
85,
90% believe this shit?
Yeah.
As in,
No, how many?
I might have-
what I'm asking
I
is
might
how many
have
of them
misheard
don't
you.
believe it, but only are too well. How many of them that do believe it that are so stupid that they do not understand the arguments, therefore they just kind of dismiss them outright and want somebody to explain to them something they don't understand?
So, again, anecdotally from the people I've interacted with, I think part of the problem by using an anecdote is the fact that I think only the really, really dumb ones are the ones willing to interact.
Yes. That's it.
And that might just because they're too dumb to realize they're not intelligent, and therefore they think they can make a case for it, and they never can. And the people that actually have the brains to argue about these things, they'd rather peddle to a pack of sheeps, to use their own terms, than actually go and debate people that can stop them in their tracks.
Yeah. I think that's true. The ones that I believe are doing it just for money, or are the ones that have their own channel. Like a lot of them, I don't think that they quite believe it. They know they can make good money off of it.
Well, I think that's a big thing of it too.
I don't think Sanchez believes it.
But I mean, obviously they are making some money off it. There's no question about that, right? But I still think that the vast majority of them know it's bullshit, and that's why they're just so. They have to shut down the communication. They always just want everybody else to say, "Oh, show us why it's round," and all they got to do is sit back and say, "No, no, no, no." It's kind of like the whole atheist thing. Oh, theists need to prove everything. You know, I find this to be the same kind of principle actually, but that's a side note. But I really want to know if there's any flat earther out there that really, really believes this, because I'm at the point now that I only think of there's maybe three. I think that Anthony Riley believes this. I think that Pissy Pete believes this, and I think that
for Schemo, I'm convinced as well, because I don't think he's intelligent enough to grow.
But Skimo is stupid, right? So he's one of those people that believes it because he literally is too stupid to understand the arguments. You know?
Yeah, I mean, both. It's kind of sad that the Hangout no longer exists because it got taken down by when one of the Flat Earth discussions channels went down. Because there was a Hangout where I talked with both of them at the same time, and I demonstrated to them that they didn't know the difference between up, down, north, and south. Right? They're that dumb.
Yep.
So it's
they don't.
Yeah.
They don't get the polls. They don't get how it works. They never even heard of the declination maps. They don't. That to them is like they have no clue what that is. Just basic stuff. Just basic. Why can't I see the moon but I can't see 100 miles away? You know.
All right, we're gonna try another one. This is Poncho Pete's channel.
Oh jeez.
Oh god.
Oh shit! What happened to my chat over here? Didn't need to flip that around. I've got the chat upside down. Now it's backwards. There we go.
I'm gonna tell you one thing though. Fucking Poncho Pete knows how to do the room.
He knows how to do what?
Animals and shit.
He does.
Poncho Pete knows how to do what?
I think it is Poncho. He's like he's a legitimate not a clown, but like an entertainer thingy. where he does balloon animals and that kind of thing. He's legitimately amazing at it. He's done some live, made fucking caricatures of people in the Hangouts, made really complex things and shit. He's probably a legitimately funny ass guy to have as an entertainer.
Yeah.
That's what he does professionally. But
well, do you think because he's an entertainer professionally that's why he's able to bullshit people with this flat Earth stuff?
Oh yeah.
Might be, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I'm already. You know what?
He's great at what he does.
I just typed in their chat. It doesn't show already. So I mean, I know I'm already blocked. I mean, I've been blocked from Poncho Pete, so I can't even go in there. So that one's done. I'm running out, guys. There's just nowhere else to go because nobody, all these channels have blocked us because none of them want to deal with anybody that wants to refute them. By the way, give me 1 second. Go ahead and continue on. I'm going to grab another beer. So
I wonder if the irony is lost on them when they sit in their channels banning everyone, claiming that we're all in echo chambers.
Yeah, I know, right? When they're like the evidence of them being an echo chamber is giving us all spanners. I mean, that's the first thing you would do if you want to make a professional, nice echo chamber. I would give everyone spanners so they can block the send. That'd be
it's
the
like,
first
I don't like that guy, ban.
Yeah, you can't, and just the smallest little off the norm comment, and you're done. They kick you right off.
Yeah.
I will give. No, go for it.
I was just gonna say, I know a decent amount of people have been toying with the idea of just entering these channels with account names that would sound like someone that actually is subscribed to a bunch of these channels and fabricate stupid shit and see how many actually swallows it.
Well, I thought about that doing that too, but then I'd be a Poe, right? If I could probably come up with some real bullshit stuff that I think people would probably believe. I think we tried it once, but it's just like, then you doing anything different than a regular Poe would be doing, right?
Yeah, no. But sometimes you need a Poe.
Yeah, it's cheap Miller 54.
It's but it would make a point though. How people would uncritically accept anything as long as it comes from someone that appears to agree.
Yes, it would be a good social. It would be a good social experiment. Like to see how certain groups of people are acceptable to.
Well, do you guys remember the other day MP was talking about an experiment that I was aware of already? That the experiment where they would have a group of people look at two lines, and 9 of them would be in on it, and 1 wouldn't be, and all of a sudden they'd be like 2 parallel lines, and one would say, "Oh, that one's actually bigger," and he would convince the other people that it was actually bigger, and all 9 people would be like, "Yeah, this one's bigger," and the 10th one would be like, "No, they're the same," but he would actually go along with them at some point. He would concede just to go along with the group, even though that in his mind he knew that they were the same length, or vice versa, they weren't the same length, and they were convinced that they're the same length. So I mean, people do that. There's a group think. There's no question about that.
Yeah, it's mass suggestion, and then there's the famous experiment with getting orders from people you perceive to have power.
Yeah, that was the electroshock.
People are just simply inclined to do as they're told. And that's actually one of the things. I'm not sure if it's based specifically off of those kind of experiments or experiences, but I know for a fact since I did medic training in the Air Force, right? I was an Air Force medic. And one of the things they actually tell you when you get to the whole triage portion of it, when you start learning about triage, is the fact that if you get to somewhere where an accident has happened, and if it's classified as, I'm not sure if you say mass accident in English, that's the translated Norwegian term anyway. Essentially what it means is that there's more victims than people that can treat them. That's essentially what it means. So if you're in a car crash, you're the only one arriving, and there's 4 people in the car. That's such a scenario. And one of the things they tell you is actually, because a lot of people will panic and basically become hysterical when they come across an accident scene or anything like that. But as soon as you tell people to do something, like if you walk up to someone standing there in full on panic mode, you tell that person to hold this stick, go to the end of the road, and stop cars coming. They will do that, but they will only do that one thing. No questions asked. They will just simply do it. And I'm not sure if that's based on those kind of experiments, but it's an actual thing.
Oh no, I'm sure it
Just
is. I'm sure it is somehow based on. And by the way, there's probably like 12 channels right now that are live. Most of them have about 30 people watching. That one has about 120. So, the flat earthers are spread pretty thin, but I think they kind of sit in their own little channel. Like the ones that go to Pissy Pete's stay there. The ones that go to Rob's Gazebo goes there. So I got to tell you, I think that this might be the last Rum and Coke that I have dealing with flat earthers. I just don't see a point any longer. I know there's a lot of new people coming in the community that still likes to talk about flat Earth. I know, like Rachel, I said, just made a video today about flat Earth. But honestly, I've lost interest. We can
just have Rum and Coke night where we just deal with stupidity. Just go and scour the internet, and like we can do sovereign citizens, we can do numerologists, we can do
but there's not too many live feeds
astrology.
going on at a time, right? The Rum and Coke night, I like going to live feeds and engaging.
Oh
people
yeah,
in
you're
real
right. You
time
like
and
to go
trying
live
find
feeds.
people.
Yep.
Yeah, and so you first have to find a hangout that's live, and there's not many sovereign citizen live chats going on.
I know. I've been trying to look at one.
Usually, sovereign citizens are in jail.
Yeah, they're in jail,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
they've already given up the fact that shit's not going to fly, right?
Yeah.
That's another one of those things that I never even knew existed until a couple of years ago. Like,
I didn't either.
It's
Yeah, I
so
don't either.
stupid. But it's great fun to watch them getting tased and shit, though.
It's not as dumb as Flat Earth, but it is definitely enjoyable. My favorite sovereign citizen one was this guy, and I'm sure you guys seen it. Besides the girl, we all know the one of the girl. She's like, you can't take my purse, rape. That was fucking hilarious. Older people are like, oh, Steve's laughing at
Article
rape.
4, Article 4 of the
yeah.
Articles of Confederation.
Exactly. I'm a sovereign citizen of the Article 4. I'm just traveling. Yeah. But my favorite one was the guy that
call your boss.
Yeah, exactly. But my favorite one was the guy who was trying to get into the courtroom. And these two big guys with badges were like, you can't come in here with that recording device, right? And he's like talking to him. He's like, well, I'm not a person, and I don't have a name, and I don't subject myself to your authority. And he started trying to get in. He's like, well, I'm going in. They're like, no, you're not. And he was giving him hassle. And the cop was great. The security guy was great. Yeah. All he did was just pulled out his taser. He just pointed right at his taser. He said, step back. Pop. It was as calm as that. Yeah, he didn't give the guy a chance to step back or not. He just said, step back. Pop. Yeah.
Well, because the guy walks up on him. The guy walks up on him. He's like, "Excuse me, sir, I'm going in there."
You seen it?
And he goes, "No, you aren't." Yeah, of course.
Am I not even exaggerating? Did he not give that guy any chance to step back? He said, "Fuck you." He
warned him enough.
Step back, pop.
Well, if you're going to argue that you're not a person, you don't exactly have rights anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you see the one? My other favorite one was the judge with the guy. He's like, so am I talking to the person, the entity, the corporation, or the person?
Yeah. Yeah.
The agent or the
I think you're trying to confuse me.
That was
good one.
Brilliant.
Pretty sure you managed that on your own.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah, that's Judge. What's his name?
How does that shit?
He's in Broward County.
It never works.
It never works. That's why I'm wondering. Well, I think now people have realized this doesn't work. That's why you don't see any new videos, right? You don't see anybody doing this shit anymore because it doesn't work.
Does anyone know where it stems from, though? Like,
yes, it starts in prison.
And Articles of Confederation.
It starts in prison.
Yeah. That's where all the crazy shit stems from, Florida.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. But everyone, like a lot of people in prison, that's why they all
came
turn
from
into
Trump
sovereign
voters.
citizens.
That's where it came from. People that voted for Trump.
No.
They get this crazy idea from the Articles of Confederation, which were pre-Constitution, and it was determined in I forget what they call the thing, but it's basically a confab where they hammered out the U.S. Constitution, which came later, because they tried the Articles first, and they were weak. They were too weak of a law to govern the United States. And that's back when we had 13 states, not 50.
Yeah, that's when there's common law jurisdiction, yeah.
So they determined that the Articles were too weak, and they said, okay, we need something a little bit more direct. So they came up with the Constitution, and it was it defined people's roles, and it had the checks and balances, and all that stuff was spelled out in the Constitution. And okay, here's the Constitution. It it basically says that the Articles of Confederation are null and void.
Right, but they didn't get the message on that. They never got the memo.
Right. So they think that the Articles of Confederation take jurisprudence over the Constitution, and the Constitution doesn't. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way.
Anybody?
So it's another-
Are you drinking, Houseroy?
Sadly, I'm not, because I need to, actually drive early tomorrow.
What time is it?
I would.
What time is it in Norway right now?
1:20 a.m.
In the morning. Okay.
Yeah. No. So, but I have rum and ginger ale like right over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get them. What do you guys mix
But-
with? Can you mix ginger ale with brandy? I got to mix with something. I'm gonna use it for cooking. Because brandy and some meats is pretty good, but I can't drink this brandy straight. It is just blah.
It's good if you just put ice in it. Just ice and a splash of water.
Like it. It's no. I'm trying to.
But-
I gotta wait to drink the corn whiskey. That's our celebratory drink that we're having.
I've been trying to tell you though. I'm not sure if you've gotten it, but you should really try some spiced rum with some ginger ale.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
That's really good.
I love
Fucking
spiced
delicious.
rum.
Really good.
Yeah, that would be delicious. Yeah.
There's another live one. I'm gonna give you the link. Let me find it real quick. Something popped up.
So now that I got you guys here real quick, and we've been talking about this, how do you guys think about the new section that I've added? Social commentary.
I've not even looked at it.
What the hell? Really?
Me neither.
Wait, what is it? I was talking
added-
I
about.
saw your post
I've
about it. It was like, oh, I'm going to put a social commentary and politics section. I was like, oh, that's.
Well, I didn't want to call it politics, so I call it social.
It's going to be a
commentary.
lovely clusterfuck area.
Yeah,
and
and
Skylar said he'd be
here's
moderator.
the fucking moderator of it right here, dude.
Yeah.
So speaking of the fucking moderator for social commentary,
Started talking about the politics.
yeah.
Wait,
So
hang on.
Yes.
Is this live?
You were supposed to tell me, Skylar. I'm joining that.
you've
I'll be
got
right
you.
there.
Here's my 3 moderators for that section. I've got the Holy Spackle, I've got Skylar, and I got Jim. So what's his name? Joe? What's his last name?
Communist Jim?
No, the other one.
Politics are my favorite. That's my favorite thing to talk about.
Yeah, I'm not going to be interested in it, to be honest with you. I already said that I really don't follow that kind of stuff. I mean, the social commentary is fine, and I wouldn't mind getting into the social justice warrior stuff and the intersectionality and all this other stuff that Sargon talks
Oh
about.
god.
I'm okay
You say
with
that now.
Oh my god. My head.
It's just juvenile. I think it's just so. It's just I just
But
got
it's
into
topical.
college. I'm special.
So
I'm
wait,
special now.
But it's topical.
like
hang on.
People
Is,
never left high school. That's the way
is
I
the
look at it.
GDC talking about politics now?
Yeah,
Yeah, we have our own
Oh,
section now. I'll be moderating it.
yeah,
so,
but it's going to be
commentary.
it's going to be
Put
very
a link
limited.
in the Hangouts, please.
It's a limited trial, and it's going to be something where we're not having it taken over by people like Dionysus or by Iron Nation. They're not even allowed in.
I'm pretty sure, just as a rule of thumb, it's unspoken in the GDC that no neo-Nazis.
Yeah, but
Exactly. There'll be no race debates.
Yeah, there's no race
on
baiting,
this
there's
shit.
no,
race
nothing
debates
like
or
that.
anything.
Oh, check your privilege, Skylar.
Yeah.
check your white privilege.
It'll be purely politics. Is what.
Or, I mean, but
How
again,
dare
social
you wear
commentary is
hats,
fine.
Skylar? Hats are offensive.
I mean,
They are.
I enjoyed watching Sargon's videos, right? I enjoyed actually watching the debate that he had with that one Thomas guy or whatever the hell his name was. I thought he kicked his ass. So I don't mind engaging a little bit about that kind of stuff. I just don't want to get into the mudslinging, right wing, left wing, alt right, mid center. I don't really care about that kind of stuff. So no, it's not. If somebody Gio asked, is it American politics? No, you could talk about British politics and Australian politics and whatever the hell you want.
But it's the one thing that affects our life. It affects our life pretty much every day.
You do know
Transhumanist
that
Party
it's
USA.
just going to become a Trump posting shit show.
Well, that's going to be up to Skylar to kind of corral that in. I don't. First of all, it's not a place to post memes, right? This is what's driving me nuts. We get a lot of new people in, and they think the GDC is like any other shit fucking community out there, and they're just going to post memes. Oh, look at this funny meme. Not interested in that. Every post on the GDC from day one was supposed to foster some kind of discussion, right? That's the whole point of having a post. If you post something, it is to have a discussion about it, right? And posting memes doesn't do that. So they just need to be stopped before they even get started, right?
Just content.
Unless it's a really good meme about Dee Dee.
I think if we keep it to content and we get away with no memes,
Right.
no race baiting, and it's purely content or discussion based, and we're fine.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah, I mean,
think
look.
so. I think it's manageable.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll enforce it. I have no problem going there and moderating the shit out of that. But I think we'll be fine. I think we'll have some interesting stuff. And
Did you already
how
set
about
up
that
a page?
technology?
It's there.
One of the reasons why I'm doing this, just to give you guys a heads up, I don't want to go into too much detail, but suffices to say that there's a lot of things outside the Great Bay community. They're taking notice of us. We're going to be featured in a few things. People are going to be talking about us in some kind of mainstream source. So that's going to be coming up in the next couple months. So that might blow up pretty big. And so
What
I think
kind of mainstream source?
a magazine.
Oh,
Hustler. A Hustler. Yep.
What?
No.
I didn't know Pornhub was in print, but okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
so I mean, long story short, though, I mean, we are getting noticed, and I think that we're going to grow exponentially. And I think that one of the things that might draw interest is that section having a political thing. So,
Yeah.
I was talked into it by a few
Scott-
different people. So,
Is it on G Plus? Is there? You already have it set up?
yeah, it's in the
Yeah,
social
so-
commentary on the Great Debate page. So whenever you post something, just click social commentary.
and we also have a Discord now
cool.
too, Tony.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that. Discord just takes so much space up on my phone.
Yeah, I want to.
I think it's already went well today as far as, I mean, we've had, I made a couple posts and things like that, but there's nothing been, I think it's been a good start so far today. So,
Are we going to have live hangouts?
today too, though? So it was definitely a big
gonna have-
news in the political world.
Yeah, no, and here's the thing. Yeah, look at the GDC community channel. I'm going to be, as I said, eventually I'm going to be splitting the main channel like this one from my GDC channel. And so the GDC channel, those are the channels that you can run the politics on. Yeah, if you want to have a hangout and discuss whatever in the news, go for it. That's why I have like 12 different people managing that channel.
And yeah, someone was asking, we're going to discuss. Like I'm always up to do political discussions on my channel as far as it goes. It's just hard to get people in to do it. To be honest with you, there's mostly everyone wants to argue religion and stuff like that. But maybe I can start hosting it one night a week or something. Do like
Well,
politics.
well, I don't know. The other night we kind of got a
Yeah, we
little
did.
political.
We do.
We have a lot of people. If everybody hosted one night a week on the GDC channel, it'd be something every night. You would do a political thing. I know a couple different people want to do some other things on the channel. I know some bigger YouTuber channels that don't want to stream on their channel. They want to keep it just to their content. So they want to use the GDC channel to actually have a live stream to talk about some of their videos. And I think that's a good idea.
So what I take from that is you're turning the GDC channel into a slut.
Yeah, because they're whores out of the channels, right? I mean, yeah, no,
It's a whore for everyone else's channel.
I've always been
Everyone
like that,
likes
though. I
to
want
slut
to. Yeah, dude, all the channels I've promoted, all of them are 3 times my subscription base. So,
Yeah.
all of them, and they know that. I mean, I had people come to my channel when they had 100 subs. They have 10,000 now.
Apologia comes to mind.
He's just one of them. He's
Yeah,
one of like
Apologia's
3 or 4
really
people
good.
right now that when they have had at least a tri-fold increase in subs since they appeared in the GDC. So, and I'm still trying to get Zoe. I just talked to her today. She says maybe next week. She's like one of the last holdouts. Zoe does life.
So that means I can make polls related to politics now.
You can do what? No, polls. Yeah,
Polls are
we've had
becoming
a
cancerous,
lot. We've had
so let's put it
excessive
that
amount of
way.
polls lately. We need to like chill out on
Okay.
that a little bit.
I mean, I
think
like
it's
figuring.
relevant.
I like learning. I guess like the quote unquote demographics of the GDC.
Yeah.
We're all Republicans.
Polls. Yeah, right. Polls,
That's not
polls
even
give
an
you a
option where I
good
live.
conversation too. Polls give you good conversation ideas.
Well, I also told you guys that.
I wonder what the majority of people are in there.
I also told you guys that we're going to be trying to do some kind of man on the street here coming up too. I have actually somebody who lives about 12 miles away that's in the GDC that you guys don't really know who she is. But I'm going to be contacting her tonight to kind of like work out some details. And I think that we might go down to like one of the shopping centers down here and give them surveys. I want to ask a bunch of questions on a survey that I've came up with and get a statistical analysis of the demographics. And the basic questions are they're like, are you a theist? Are you an atheist? Do you believe that gods don't exist? Do you think there's a difference between belief and knowledge? These kinds of basic questions that we deal with to see if the average person really has even a modicum of understanding of these kinds of questions. And
How do you define atheism?
that's not one of the questions.
Steve, that actually. So, how many people, without having done any polls, obviously, how many people would you or Americans in general think are religious of any other reason other than just because, as in it's been part of my upbringing or my family is, and so on?
I think a large majority are religious because of upbringing here.
Yeah.
I would say high 80%.
Yeah, I would say it's
High 80.
I would say it's
thinking
well
90.
over 75% are culturally indoctrinated into the religion that they have. Yeah.
Well, it's not just really that you're indoctrinated into it. It's when you're surrounded by everybody, it's just becomes something that you don't even consider questioning.
Yeah, we have a
You don't
word
wanna
for
be the
that.
odd
We
man
have a word for that. It's called indoctrination.
Yeah, right. You don't want to be the odd man out.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
Steve,
what I was thinking. Yeah.
Steve,
Yeah.
Steve, I put a live link to a guy that thinks that what is that? The trails in the sky. That's real.
Chemtrails?
It's in the
Chemtrails?
it's in the Hangouts. It's in the
Chemtrails,
Hangouts.
yeah.
There's like 400 people watching. You can go check and see if they want to do something.
Yeah, I'm kind of moved on from them. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to be doing much with flat earthers anymore because I think that they're all posed, and I'm so tired of them. They're just idiots.
It's not that they're posed. It's they've just gone to the full degree of conspiracy theory.
Sure. Yeah.
That's all it is.
Well,
That's actually. So,
how do you know the difference?
have you ever met someone that buys into only a singular conspiracy
No.
theory?
My
Yes.
brother.
They all.
Yeah,
they
you
all
know, they
multiple.
buy into one conspiracy
one
theory,
conspiracy theory
and
my
other
brother
than
buys.
that, they're rational. Yeah.
Hey, everybody, say hi to Evidence. Hi, Evidence, for you
Hi,
in the
Evidence.
live chat.
Yeah, the one conspiracy theory that my brother buys into is the moon landing,
Okay.
and he welcome to my fucking
Why?
hell.
Why? I mean, what's
And
the
I
reason
don't
he
know.
singles that one out?
I honestly don't fucking know why. Because when you ask him about it, he says, "Look, he thinks it was initially faked, but that we have since been there."
What would be the reasoning behind that? I don't.
I don't know, and he doesn't really give any. It just
Kind of
boils down to
different
an
system.
argument from incredulity, where he says that he can't imagine how the technology of that day could reach the moon.
Maybe he should take a course in rocket science.
He's,
Maybe he
fucking-
should actually look
he's
at
not going to do that. He's a line technician. He's not interested in any other shit.
Well,
half of what he does on the line technician came from that.
possible.
But that goes back to what I was saying before.
So
They don't
in
understand
the
it, though.
simplest term possible, the only thing you need ability to change thrust vectors and enough fuel. All you need.
Yeah.
What gets a lot of people
So-
is the bends, the Van Allen belts. That gets a lot of people.
Why? If the place they go through the Van Allen
Yeah,
belt
and
there's
is
also
a lot
another-
of
that's just
radiation,
one
and
I
they
hear
don't
a
stay
lot.
there very
That's one I
long.
hear a lot.
If you actually look, I've seen the map, of the Van Allen radiation belts and the course they took. And I mean, here's the concentrated area over here. They're like going up this way and then coming right out. They're not even going near the maximum start. The maximum.
Yeah, they
part,
don't understand that there's like there was a smaller, thinner area. They don't understand that.
Not to mention, we have this thing called shielding.
Yeah, well, there's three main things that are factored in when you're dealing with radiological controls: time, how much time you have exposure; distance, how far you are from the source; and the shielding that you have. The other factors are the type of source, obviously, and the other factors are if it's a plane source, a line source, or a point source, because each formula is different. In fact, if you have a point of radioactivity, that formula is completely different than if you have a spill, like a water spill that's radioactive coolant, or if I have a pipe going across. All these formulas are different to figure out how much radiation you're exposed to. And as a radiological controls person, that's one of the things that I had to do a lot of to calculate how much exposure somebody has, given the conditions for their stay time, because there'd be these areas roped off, and you're what's called the control point access person. And as a control point access person, you say who goes in and out of that radiological control area, and nobody else can. You're the god. It doesn't matter what anybody's rank is, what their specialty is. If you tell them they can't go in, they can't go in. Period. Which is kind of nice. But you have to know all that shit on the fly to figure out how much stuff. We didn't have calculators back there. You had to actually do it in fucking hand paper and shit to calculate this crap.
So,
And every 5 minutes, you had to say you had mods.
Yeah. None of you have mods, by the way.
I with a background in Nuke, Steve, doesn't it kind of piss you off that the term radiation is used so ambiguously as it is, both in media and by a lot of people?
The reason being is you hear that word radiation and you think it's automatically harmful, and it's not. I mean, obviously we're surrounded by radiation all the time. I mean, and not just like harmful radiation. Light is radiation.
Yeah,
Heat is radiation.
Talked about very cavalier and without understanding of what they're talking about.
Correct.
Yeah, we use it to kill tumors. We use it in our bodies. We put those radiation that pill.
But there's different types. There's a lot of different types of radiation. There's ionizing radiation. There's non-ionizing. There's radiation that's neutron, that's electron, that's alpha. There's so many different types of things that you have to factor in, and I think you're right. There's people hear that term radiation and they get all freaked out and scared. But you walk out in a garden, you get exposed to radiation, not just from the sun, but from the soil.
Oh, here's something you'll like, Steve, or it might upset you a bit or offend you intellectually. Was my mom was watching Dr. Oz, and then she decided to ring up all of her kids and tell us that granite countertops emit radiation. Something that we all knew.
Granite, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a purity.
And apparently now she won't come to my house because I have a granite countertop.
Oh, God.
Yes. So that's good. Hey.
Did she know how not? Did she know that her bones have more radiation than that granite ever would?
She ought to.
No.
She doesn't.
Yeah, it's nominal. I mean, it's barely detectable, but sure, everything has radiation in it.
Does she drink alcohol?
And what's worse is some of the radiation is like, for example, like beta particles. Beta particles bounce off your skin. I mean, they have no penetration power. They're basically your dead skin could just cause it to bounce off. So it's not going to do any damage whatsoever. So
depending on what kind of definition you're using, everything above 0 Kelvin radiates.
Well, heat,
radiation,
right. Anything,
so so you can tell her she's radioactive. Let's see what happens then.
But trust me, he's not radioactive.
That.
There's a difference between radioactive and
but
radiation.
Again, if you're just going to throw the term around, right? Might as well say you're radioactive too because you're radiating heat. It's about as important.
Totally
it is about as accurate.
Yeah, that's totally different.
That.
But you're radioactive. I mean, there's cesium, there's iodine, there's strontium, there's promethium, there's xenon. There's all kinds of different stuff that's all around that is radioactive, both inside your body and outside. So,
if you drink alcohol,
you have calcium radiation. You have calcium. Isotopes of calcium.
If you drink alcohol while we're in a hangout called Rum and Coke night,
exactly, we're all drinking radioactive stuff as we sit here and drink alcohol.
It's delicious.
So, how many of you people have been to the new Discord yet?
Me.
I used to go into Krillism's Discord, and I basically said, "Fuck Discord."
It's
just a porn. It's just a porn memes. That's all that's there.
We have mods. It's not going to be like that, and it's mostly going to be for people that just want to like quickly have a hang, to talk and then maybe rearrange different things. Like for example, if Skylar wants to have a debate with somebody, and it's really difficult to do typing and shit like that. So instead of having to actually get a hangout, say, let's go to Discord and talk about it. So.
Yeah. I don't know. Skylar was supposed to have a chat with me about morality like 3 months ago.
You will kick his ass. You will kick his ass. He's scared of you.
Start up a channel and
totally
discuss, right?
I was like, I just remembered that.
It was, yeah. I was gone for a little bit too, though. I just came back a couple weeks ago. But no, you're right. No, I was.
I told you, it was like I'm going to review a book before I engage in that conversation, just so that I would be better equipped to explain my position. And then we never got around to it.
Yeah. Captain Griffin, an overlay like this would be cool or something. But let me ask you real quick, because I got you in here, Nicola. I listened to Ozzy's argument for objective morality, and it actually made sense to me.
It does, yeah.
So
I'm very partial to that kind of argument, because Ozzy is a neo-Aristotelian. And the virtue ethics actually pairs very well with a lot of non-cognitivist views of ethics.
So let me ask you, why is there such a pushback? I mean, obviously, I know Skylar doesn't accept objective morality, and I know Holy Kool-Aid doesn't either. But what do you think this pushback is when you say objective morality? They're like, "Oh, that cannot be. It has to be subjective." And it's like, wait, no, actually, I think Ozzy makes a pretty good argument.
I think I explained that to you in a private message.
You did,
once.
but that's why I'm asking you because I liked your argument.
There is an obvious trend with theists and atheists here online, which is theists, particularly the fundamentalist evangelical Christians, have this weird irrational aversion to subjectivity. That if you point out that is actually subjective, it can't be. They have to defend it and twist and jump around and trip around the word objective in order to make it fit. And the same thing happens with the atheists online. I don't know why it is. Like, there's nothing wrong with morality being objective.
I just think it's pointless within the atheistic perspective worldview.
Why
right?
would it matter?
I
don't see the correlation.
Well, here's the thing, right? What value does it play? Because all the atheist is arguing when they call something's objective is they've chosen an objective standard and they follow it. That's it. Like when you bear with bottom line, that's what's happening.
Something
whether harm or something else is whatever it is, and you're like, well, this is because of this, right? But it doesn't hold any more value than subjective morality in a sense.
Well, I don't think anybody's making that argument, though. I don't think one system's better than the other. It's just people have said, "Oh, you cannot have objective morality unless there's God." I think that's bullshit.
Yeah. I think what Skylar's pointing out is that objective morality is going to be arbitrary no matter how you try and frame it.
Exactly.
Unless you ground it in something where it's not arbitrary.
Even if you ground it in something, it's arbitrary.
That's not
absolutely.
It's not.
You're just choosing something to ground it in.
That's not grounding it. It's not arbitrary at that point. You're actually making a framework.
Grounding it.
All right. Here we go.
You can choose to ground something. If you do genuinely choose to ground something, then it would be arbitrary. However, if you evaluate how it is that we correctly use this term, how is it that what are people generally pointing to? What properties do particular actions have? How would you categorize moral actions and immoral actions? You can have a standard where it's, okay, when we say this is good, this is what we're referring to, similar to when we say something is true.
Yeah, because we're defining what that word good means at that point. It's not some kind of vaguer thing out there.
We have this idea or intuition. We have a general concept of things that are clearly good, things that are obviously wrong. What is shared by all good actions? And once you figure that out, well, now you have the standard of the good.
Well, that's why I think
it wasn't chosen by you arbitrarily. It was you, through reason, figured out what the good is.
Which I think Ozzy has with his whole gratuitous harm thing.
What you define as good is just arbitrary. I mean, you're just defining what good is.
You sound like Veckel. Throw out that word arbitrary. It's arbitrary.
The thing is, the Christians are right.
Someone who believes in objective morality, let's do a little experiment. Let me go back and forth here. Who believes in objective morality is an atheist position?
I'm not atheist, but I think objective morality.
Well, you're in the same. So tell me.
I'm tending to objective morality right now because I really think Ozzy makes a good case, and I think I've read some other.
Sure, but let's try this back and forth real quick. All right. So what makes something wrong?
Well, the way the objective morality argument is framed, as far as what's right and wrong, is basically anything that has to do with harms or benefits to the human and to society, and gratuitous harm.
You don't need to keep going. I get what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I get it. So why ought I believe something? Why is it wrong?
Well, that's a whole different. There is ought. It's a whole different ballgame. There isn't an ought.
Before you jump in,
morality is all about ought.
You're not.
Yeah. This is normative.
The whole problem with objective morality is
this is normative ethics, though. This is, I know what
one of the largest issues
is.
You're
just defining something as good. That's all you're doing. You're just saying, well, this is good because harm is not to harm somebody is good.
Steve, one of the major issues with moral realism is the is-ought problem.
I know. I understand that, actually. I mean, I get that.
Like, if you're going to say it's normative ethics,
morality is what we ought to do.
It just means that that's exactly what you're doing, and the problem stands.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's something that we define to be. I mean, that's the framework that it's built upon.
Right.
So how can that be independent of your? So that can't be independent of your emotions and your opinions. Then if it comes from.
I have no emotions or opinions. No,
You do have emotions and opinions.
well, I mean,
But
I would love
He
to.
is a philosophical zombie.
Steve is an
Yeah, I'm a
actual
philosophical
machine.
zombie.
He is the
I'm a
first
pea
step of the
zombie.
singularity. There is no emotion.
I
in
was
him.
really
He
looking
also-
forward. I gotta turn the
He
light.
was
Though,
played
dark.
by Arnold Schwarzenegger in the next movie.
I was really looking forward to this discussion with Gret and Holy Kool-Aid, but it never got off the ground.
Yeah, it went exactly
I
as I
could never
told
get
him.
past this step, right?
Yeah, because
And
they were talking
one of
about
the problems was that they
they.
tried to get past this step, and it wound up going really badly because there was a definition issue about the word objective. And I think that's part of the problem that's being had here is that someone like I don't know how you're defining objective outside of I picked this. And it seems to be that everybody that argues for objective morality has something along the lines of I picked this, therefore,
Exactly.
and it doesn't become independent of mind. It becomes purely dependent on mind because you're defining morality within the context of human society and human opinions and the majority of what humans discover to be good throughout their interactions with one another.
Well, let me
And if it's
ask you,
objective
Ocean.
morality, it's going to be true regardless of whether or not humans are involved.
Let me ask you,
That's
Ocean.
where the whole thing gets broken down.
If there was objective morality, would it make a difference? Would it change anything?
Yes, immensely.
I don't think so. Why?
Because then there's something that isn't arbitrary for which morality can be grounded in. And there's a right and wrong answer to how to set up a society.
Right, and I think
if-
there might be right or wrong answers. I think that's
If
most more
something-
realist thinks there's a right or wrong. Right?
Right, they think there is, but they're grounding it in nothing. They're grounding it in arbitrary standard.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll have a hangout on that. We'll have Ozzy run his argument again. I haven't listened to it in quite some time, but he was making some good points.
I think Ocean's framing it exactly how. I mean, the way Ocean just framed it, Ozzy's doing the same thing. I've talked to Ozzy before. I mean, he's very articulate. He's very well spoken with it. But in the end, he's just choosing something. Like he's just choosing what the standard is, whether it be harm or something else like that, the most beneficial to non-human suffering. But in the end, it's not mind independent. In that, there's no way you can separate your mind from that.
Even Kantian ethics, which is usually regarded as one of the more solid constructions of an objective morality that you can do without a god, is very much based in human interaction.
You mean the categorical imperative?
Yeah,
because the CI would be a
I believe
Kantian
so.
ethics that would not be.
I'm not super versed in Kantian ethics, but when I was looking at it, there was a Christian that was arguing that Kantian ethics was evidence for God, which I thought was kind of weird.
But Kantian ethics still believed in God. Kant
right,
believed
right.
in God, but he thought
But it doesn't assert that God is the source of those ethics.
Right. That's the difference.
When looking at it, it tries to come up with another idea of what of how that is, and it's mainly based in human interaction as a standard. Now, humans interact differently. We have similar evolutionary past, and if you're going to be talking about explaining why humans perceive things as being good and evil, you can look at our evolutionary past and our habits as a social species and discover why we might think this way generally as humans. But that doesn't mean that there's something that's independent of us that says what is right or wrong. In fact, it's the other way around. It's incredibly dependent on us. Without us, there is no right and wrong.
Well, I agree with
as
that.
far as how we look at it.
I mean, if you think about it, without our understanding of right and wrong, or what we think is right or wrong, then it wouldn't really apply to like other species. I mean, humans have their own individual understanding of these things because we are a much more sentient type of being, right? But I don't like that good. I don't like that good and bad stuff.
If you have a civilization that reaches a human-style intelligence, like that reaches the level of intelligence that humans have, but their evolutionary history is that of a hive, like a colony insect, then they're going to have a radically different notion of what good and evil is. They're going to be highly collectivist, and they're going to view sacrifice as a value.
Good and bad. They seem to have no meaning to me. What's good and what's bad, unless it's.
Well, I'm just talking about their notion. When you're talking about objective morality, you have to bring in good and bad because that's what you're talking about.
Right and wrong. You can use right and wrong instead of good and bad.
All right, right or wrong, whatever. If you use right or wrong, you still result with the same thing. Something that's an advanced species with the evolutionary past of colony insects is going to have radically different notions of right and wrong.
Humans are a more advanced form of a colony insect.
No.
No. He's comparing us to them.
Yeah.
Saying if you have a different group of damn it, I'm saying this the third time. If you have a different evolutionary path that leads to an intelligent species, but their evolutionary path is that of colony insects, rather than us, which has an evolutionary path of social mammals, right? There's still a collectivism aspect about us, in that we tend to run around in packs or herds or whatever you want to call it. With colony insects, it's a radical collectivism, far more than we would have value for. You can massacre tons of them, and they'll see it as just fine as long as the good of the colony is preserved. But it would be the notions of right and wrong tip into completely different notions. Whereas if you also had evolution going in the direction of something that's more solitary, you would have radical individualism.
Well, I obviously think that evolution plays a huge part in our framework of how we view morality, to say the least. But that doesn't negate an objective morality. I think it
does.
I think
because
I think it's the opposite.
Morality would be defined for us as completely dependent on that evolutionary history. So if you remove our minds from it, it's no longer relevant.
Doesn't Sam Harris actually make the opposite argument?
I don't know. I think you're talking about moral landscape. I don't know how he addresses this particular contention, but it would seem like he might actually make the same argument that I'm making, except that he embraces it and says this would be morality for humans. I would think that he would probably agree with me.
I don't know. I think it's a really, honestly, boring topic. I'm not going to lie. Morality is not a topic I really find that much interesting because I don't care either way. My viewpoint
is because I won, Steve.
Fine. I'm not hardcore belief on morality one way or another. I don't care. But I do believe, when it comes to morals, I do accept the fact that people have a moral obligation, a deontological duty to be moral to people, and if that's grounded in something, that's fine. It's not, whatever. But
I'll do it if it's in my rational long-term.
Well, yeah, but you're just a narcissistic, self-centered piece of shit. But no, I'm kidding.
I don't deny that. Yeah, I'm pretty selfish.
If you do something wrong and you aren't compelled to right it and make it right, you have a problem. If you do something wrong to someone and you're not compelled to want to fix it and want to make it better, and you realize you did something wrong, then there's something wrong. I think there's something wrong psychologically.
Well, I mean, some people are sociopaths. I don't believe so much in a soul per se, but
empathy's gone. Yeah, empathy is gone.
I definitely think that people have conscience, and I think some people are just literally born with what we call it without conscience. They don't have that ability to have empathy or to go,
people
maybe I did that person wrong.
Soulless machines.
Soulless machines.
But what's funny is you kind of say it in jest, but when you look into their eyes, you can kind of see there's just something missing.
Yeah, there's an emptiness. They look through you. They don't look at you. They're not looking at you. They look through you. It's weird. It's hard to explain, but
I've seen them. I know people like that.
They don't see you as a person. They see you as an object.
Yeah, they don't feel empathy. They don't feel remorse. They don't feel guilt. They don't feel most of the normal things I think most human beings feel for each other. Because that's how, as a society, we survive. How would a society survive if everybody in that damn society had no empathy for each other and it was every man for himself? It just wouldn't be self-sufficient.
We'd be like, we would be animal. Then we'd be the truest form of animal. We'd be
flat earthers.
Yeah. I think flat Earth is more reasonable.
We wouldn't be a social species.
We would definitely want to be a social species.
Yeah, no.
But Skylar, I'm looking forward to that.
We'd be like sharks.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how you moderate the influx of people that's going to be dominating that particular section here soon. I have a feeling it's going to be probably the most posted on section. Out of all,
we should have a live hangout once a week just to suss out everything that happened during that week.
Well, that would be something that he would have to do on the Great Debate Community channel.
That'd be appropriate for Rum and Coke night. Did you see what Trump tweeted? Yeah. Oh my God!
Yeah, right.
Who's this Moira?
No, I would like to get into. I'd like to get into.
Show how much I've drank so far.
That would be a good.
No, you're all right.
Nicola Moira.
Moira.
The sad part is he's probably going to win. That's the really sad part of all this. It was like he's still going to win after basically pretty much being accused of being a pedophile.
Our votes have been pretty much just to the point where they're meaningless.
I think we've got to the point where nobody even cares about accusations anymore because they're just so watered down, and some of them are pretty asinine. I mean, I gotta admit, there's like one that just came out with like Al Franken, and I'm like, oh shit, come on.
Yeah, that
20 years ago, over the top cop that was brushed, kind of like probably an accidental brush, and you're screaming rape. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, that diminishes the people that have actually been sexually assaulted.
Yeah, and the Roy Moore shit is pretty serious. And even besides that, man, the dude's a young Earth creationist, like he's an anti-evolutionist, like he's
a piece of shit.
Well, there's nothing. There's nothing that should redeem him and make him electable. He says women shouldn't have the right to hold political office or even the right to vote.
Marion Barry got convicted on how many charges, and he got back in office how many times? Yeah. People don't care.
Yeah. It's just they vote along party lines.
Who said that?
Generationally vote.
What, Ocean?
Our vote. Oh, go for it.
Who said that women shouldn't vote?
Roy Moore.
Roy Moore.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, our votes.
Transgender people have no rights even as American citizens.
Nothing anymore is that shocking in public policies, political speeches. Nothing.
Well, to be fair, from an outsider's perspective, watching American shit show politics happen, nothing is really surprising.
Right.
And I think that's part of the problem. Like it doesn't shock people like it should, but it doesn't.
But one of these
problem.
Go ahead, Tony.
The problem is that even if the problem is gerrymandering, super delegate caucuses. Our votes have been raped from us. We cannot vote. Our votes mean nothing. They have completely raped us from any say in what's going on.
Our voting is for show.
That's just the way it sucks, but
I mean, any one of these scandals would have been career enders back in the 60s and the 50s. I mean, even the most minor one would have been career enders.
God.
Now it's like, what's that? You whipped your dick out in front of 50 people? Oh, you're fine. Don't worry about it. There's just nothing that'll get you to the point where you're unelectable, pretty much.
Well, you could be an atheist.
Except that.
Yeah. That's the unforgivable sin. Be an atheist, you can't even get elected.
That is worse. That is worse than saying grab him by the pussy.
Well, I mean, you could be one, but don't tell other people that you're one. Right?
I know, right?
The problem is it's the kind of people who vote in these two parties, right? You have two different kinds of cultures. You have conservatives who vote. Conservatives go out and they vote. It's a lot of older people, and they're willing to get out there and things like that. And then liberals don't have spines enough to really fight like the Republicans do. The Republicans are great at it, right? And the Republican message, and obviously I'm more liberal progressive, the conservative message is so much easier to argue than it is the progressive one. Because who isn't going to, if you say, hey, you want me to lower your taxes? Yeah, I want lower taxes. Oh, great.
Vote liberal.
Hey, do you want less government in your life? Yeah, okay, great. Okay. I mean, it's like, but when you say something like a liberal, you're like, hey, I want to have more money for schools. How are you going to pay for that?
Yeah. I don't see how anyone who's poor could be a Republican. I mean,
it's insanity. They vote against their own economic interests.
Most of the programs, the social programs that got actually pushed through were actually pushed through by Republicans. Yeah,
the Republican base. Look at what is it? Obamacare was Mitt Romney care.
It was Romney care light.
Yeah. They just switched a couple things.
Well, most social programs came from the Roosevelt era under Democrat, like Social Security and all those big programs. Those are all progressive things. Now the parties switched at one point. Like it used to be the Republicans.
CCC.
Yeah, the Republicans used to be the more liberal party up until like the 50s when the Dixiecrats came out and segregation happened. Like so, it's always been the South has always been the conservative part. Yeah. And the North,
the poorest place too. The poorest place.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of like when it isn't the conservatives. We shouldn't use words like Republican or Democrat. Really, what we should say is liberal conservative. And right now,
I don't even like those terms anymore. Even the conservative liberal doesn't seem to fit any longer.
Well, you got neoliberal.
Are you a neocon? Are you a neoliberal? Are you? I mean, it's just I don't know. I think that these political parties, I don't even know what's what any longer.
Yeah. I call myself a liberal, but I'm pretty sure that most of you wouldn't call me a liberal if you knew more.
And I wouldn't be considered a liberal. I'm conservative.
There's really.
I don't know. Once I was in a Hogtie. I was in a hangout with Hogtie, and somebody asked me when we had our federal election who I'd be voting for, and Hogtie just burst out laughing.
Yeah.
Because asking someone in Saskatchewan who they're going to be voting for in an election is a bit like asking somebody in Alabama, "Hey, would you vote for Hillary Clinton?"
Yeah. Nope. Not that hippie.
I wish my problem is I wish people understood like the issues and what was going on.
Yes.
Like
Yes. That.
now, like if people understood why things like universal health care would be beneficial, why some form of universal education system would be beneficial in this country, instead of just calling it socialism and like people don't get it. Like people think that like our private healthcare system is so great here. Like it's awful.
Sucks.
Like I'm
It's
watching. It's the worst. Like
It's
we're
46.
in a country where people go bankrupt because of medical.
We're right there next to Saudi.
Skylar,
Saudi Arabia is better than us.
I don't know who says that. I don't know who the hell you're talking to. I don't hear people going around going, "Oh, we have the best private practice in the world." No, nobody says that except for people that are in the field, baby. But no, I don't. Well,
Yeah, no.
you said you wish the average you said to the people you wish knew this, understood this better. I don't think they're fooled by this stuff. I don't think anybody's walking around going, "Oh, we shouldn't have some kind of universal health care." That's not the question. The question is, how does it get paid for? How does it work? I mean, it's a huge bureaucracy.
There were people like Marcus Moody would be a fine
Right-wingers,
example.
They do say this stuff. They do.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Marcus Moody was saying that universal healthcare coverage, not socialized medicine.
Yeah, you're talking about Marcus Moody. Okay, let's come on.
It was immediately that's a Nazi policy.
Yeah, the average person. Well, first of all, again, I agree with Seiler. I don't think the term socialization or
Seiler.
Skyler, what did I say?
I said Seiler. You made him sound like a hero.
Seiler. I've had a few beers. I don't think that term is a derogatory term. I think we have a lot of social programs now. I mean, socialized medicine has kind of been around for a little while. It's VA socialized medicine. The roads are socialized. So these are not derogatory terms, but people think that when they hear socialized something, they think it deals with socialism.
No, they think it deals with communism.
Which
why is that?
which
That's
is
the key.
communism light.
Why do people think that when they hear the word socialized medicine, it's a bad thing? It's because of the
That's the
conservatives
way-
that have controlled Fox News and
They
Fox Radio
just-
for the last 16 years.
There you go.
You guys just dropped the explanation for that, man. I mean, I think that's
you
right.
You did, Tyler. You totally hit the nail on the head there because
This is
You
They're
dropped
going-
the bomb on me.
yeah. No, this is also. As soon as news stopped being investigatory and started being opinion based, it's opinion based now. There's
Well,
no
I think that's a huge thing,
investigation.
Tony. I think you're right
Like
on
it's
that.
just this is my opinion. Fox News is just.
But I'm okay.
all
Okay,
news
but
is
I
opinion.
happen to like Fox. But I mean, I don't mind opinion-based news if it's known it's opinion-based news. They have a lot of
It
things.
should be called news then.
Well, hang on.
It should be called news.
No, I'm fine with they've always had opinion pieces of news, but the problem is they hide opinion pieces as news. That's what
Right.
I find to be disingenuous.
Well, and it's fake. Like, you remember, is it Gretchen? Who was the woman that was on Fox and Friends?
Gretchen Van Susteren.
Okay.
Who was the woman on Fox and Friends? That is
I can't remember her name, but she would play so dumb during the show. She seemed kind of ditzy and things like that. Yeah, I come to find out she went to Oxford University. That shit was all
All
of
of them
that.
have educations.
Yeah, no. But Oxford University, it's some serious shit. You don't just get into Oxford University,
Yeah.
right? But my point is that's an Ivy League school. It's a very, very good school, right? But on her show, she plays dumb, right? She tried to relate to the American people. It's manipulation is at its best, basically.
I mean,
And-
they're the ones that act like the Canadians are knocking down our doors trying to get health care. No, it's the opposite. We're trying to go to Canada to get drugs, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
There actually used to be a dating website called hookacanuck.com. You could marry, if you lived in the States, marry a Canadian just temporarily and get the health coverage.
Yep.
Like, think about it. Like, we're the only modern country or first world country in the world that doesn't provide some form of universal health care coverage for their citizens.
Yeah.
We're the only country where people go bankrupt.
And I
People
think
die
the only one that still uses the imperial system as well.
Education too. We go bankrupt for education. That's the one debt we cannot get erased.
And it's all-
yeah.
No, it's all because the Republicans, the Republican Party, modern Republican Party is really what it should have used. I'm not going to say the old Republican Party. The modern Republican Party wants no investment in infrastructure, in education, in healthcare. They don't want it. They don't want the government. They think the free market. They think the free market's going to solve all their problems. Yeah. And
military and Wall Street.
Yeah, and think about it. Like, okay, look at free market, capitalism for example. I'm not against capitalism, but capitalism doesn't work in certain areas. You can't have a for-profit legal system, right? A judicial system. Yeah. We can't have a for-profit police system. We can't have a for-profit healthcare system because the only way you can make money in a for-profit healthcare system is to take more money in than you give out. And how do you give less money out? You deny care. You give less healthcare to the people that are on your programs. Yeah. I don't even understand how anybody can support that. It blows my fucking mind. That they just don't think about
Did you guys see the Twitter feed that I just responded to Rachel? I've been giving her shit all day about her flat Earth video. You guys didn't see that, never mind. Oh, you guys can't see it.
I'm just wondering how our token Republican in the room is taking all this.
Is there a Republican in the room?
Ocean.
Oh, Ocean's not a Republican, is he?
Yeah.
Ocean.
I thought he was a libertarian.
No, what's up? I'm totally not a libertarian, but I've been a Republican for a long time. I'm not really a Republican anymore with respect to Trump.
Let's start you know what? Let's start our own party. The GDC party. Let's do it. Right.
That was the thing that actually stuck out.
We'd like to be a third party.
To wow you.
Yeah.
Ocean for president.
I used to be a Republican too, just to let you guys know.
Oh fuck, that'd be fun to see.
I'm still a
neo-pagan
more libertarian
running for president.
I voted for McCain and Romney.
You voted really over Obama, huh?
Oh yeah.
And you supported Bernie Sanders.
Obama's terrible too. They're all terrible.
Like in hindsight, Obama wasn't terrible, but
he did okay. I'll give him props. He was a good.
I'm trying to explain like political opinions in fragments now with you guys just like running over. So let me explain myself to Skylar because I don't want her to lose respect.
This is something we all
wait. He had respect in the first place.
I don't know if he had respect. Yeah. We're gonna try this out. But anyway, my reasoning was for McCain was that Obama kept going, yes, we can throughout everything, and didn't give me very much of what he wanted to actually do. And then McCain did. Like McCain was much more forward about what his actual policies were, whereas Obama was essentially a fucking hype movement. So I was like, nope, I'm just McCain. And people kept arguing with me about it with gay marriage, and it was like, dude, Obama hasn't said anything about gay marriage. Then he did later with Romney, and it makes me wonder like how people thought about like he came out in support of gay marriage, which must have meant that beforehand he didn't.
Well, he played
so all the people that voted for him because of his gay marriage position must have been like misinformed. But he was like a sounding board for whatever you wanted him to be.
Well,
exactly. That's actually something that I hate so much more. Which was, I can't remember who came out and said it, but it was Barack Obama wasn't in favor of gay marriage, but his advisor said, "Oh, this isn't, like a politically advantageous position to go out and say that you have." So he stayed silent on it, and then he came out in between the elections
and trying to have it both ways. It's really
I'm not in favor of gay marriage. I support traditional marriage, and then later said he had evolved his position. And it's okay. You were in favor of equality, and you thought this was right. You knew this was the right option to do, and yet you decided to choose the bad option or present yourself as choosing the bad option just for political gain. Fuck you. You are worse than a bigot.
Well, listen, I get
it. The bigot at least doesn't know better. You knew better, and you did it the wrong thing anyways.
I get it. It wasn't the right thing to do, right? But big picture, right? You got to understand the time, what was happening back then. Like, this dude already had enough stacked against him. Like,
no, of course. And I don't say like the political how much this guy is a good idea. It's just
gay rights. I mean, he did get gays in the military. It was under him that the Supreme Court. Yeah. So I mean, this dude's record. I mean, he. Honestly, the irony. What's funny about Barack Obama is realistically he's a moderate Republican.
Yes, yeah, he was. Yeah.
I thought the irony of Barack Obama was that he was running against Ted Cruz, who clearly wasn't born in the United
reason why he's
States.
looked at as a moderate Republican is because he was for the majority of his presidency, he had a Republican Congress. They wouldn't let him do anything, so his hands were tied with respect to what he was allowed to do. There was balance of power throughout his fucking presidency on the party side. So he was like he came off as a moderate Republican because that's the wiggle room that he had. If there was a Democratic when it started out with a Democratic House and a Democratic Senate under him, oh my God, was this guy a liberal motherfucker? Because that's when we got like Obamacare and a bunch of other shit that he wanted to do.
But then we invaded more. We put more military boots on the ground too.
Oh no, foreign policy. The parties are the same though. He's a moderate Republican on foreign policy, and he's a moderate Democrat on foreign policy because they're indistinguishable.
Yeah, but Ocean, don't you see that like this private healthcare system we can't have this in our country. Like the liberal.
No, I'm universal healthcare.
You hold a liberal position.
Yes, I do.
So why are you knocking Obamacare? The people who ruined Obamacare were the Republicans.
I'm knocking Obamacare.
Because it was wrong.
I'm knocking Obamacare.
I'll knock Obamacare all day.
First, I don't like any of the plans that the Republicans have gone through with this. I think universal health care is the only way to go. So when you have something that's less than universal health care, I still have problems with it, especially something that's a ticking time bomb.
But it was a compromise.
Like Obamacare.
It was literally a compromise because they wanted a public option. They couldn't get it.
No, a public option would have made it more sustainable.
But they can only do what they can with it. Like this kind of thing has to be done in phases. You can't do everything at once. And I even think it was still too big. I think they should have broken up
all day.
But the pre-existing condition stuff was great. The stuff with insurance companies not being able to drop you just because they just want to drop you after you've been paying for all this, like that kind of stuff is great. Like it's not an awful plan. And here's what cracks me up. And I'm not saying you're saying this by any means, Ocean. But I hear people complain about Obamacare, right? Well, don't fucking buy it. Go buy private healthcare and tell me how expensive that is for you. Like, let me hear about how you're complaining about the cheaper version of the healthcare they can get.
When you remove, like the capitalistic response to that is going to be when you remove a significant portion of the people from the demand into a supply that is cheaper, then the competition area is not going to succeed. Because there's going to be less competition because there's less availability on the demand side of it, causing those prices to fucking skyrocket. Which was the whole argument at the time is like either go pure free market with it and let the state lines down and have everybody compete so that we can get lower prices on that end, or say fuck it and go pure universal healthcare so that everybody's covered and we're not worrying about people dying because they can't afford their insulin anymore. You know, like there's two different ways of approaching it, and my position is I would like one that works. Now, universal healthcare has a weird track record throughout its history of being used. It puts nations in a lot of debt, unfortunately, but people tend to be happy with it. If you can find a way to streamline it, then amazing. Like this, I think it's better.
It's still better than the private system. Like we can't. I can't. I think from what I've heard, the worst system when it comes to first world countries with socialized medicine is Canada, right? But people don't talk about Germany. They don't talk about Switzerland, Sweden, all these Norway, all these countries that have had this for a very, very long. Netherlands, who have universal healthcare, right? When you compare that healthcare compared to our private system, it's always better. It's always less money most of the time. It's less cost. The cost is less, but it's like I said, I can
transfer. Is what winds up happening is the cost is transferred onto the government. When you move into the system in which, in our system, the cost is transferred more heavily onto the consumer because they can get away with it, right?
Well, and a slight correction, Skylar. It isn't just solely focused on Canada, because Fox News Business once did an article about how the National Health Service in England was so abhorrent that if Stephen Hawking had been born in England and had to live under this system that they had, he would be dead. And Stephen Hawking replied that he lives in England, he's born there, and he owes his life to the NHS.
Exactly. Like everything, like I can't even think of a time in the last 16 years where the Republicans have been right on the right side of something. Can't think of one in the last 16 years.
Where the
Like
Republicans have been on the right side of
On
something.
the right side of an issue.
Generally, I like the lower taxes ideas, but
Lower taxes for who?
I mean everybody.
like,
Honestly, I think that you should capital gains taxes should be fairly low. It promotes investment, which promotes business.
The businesses don't need the capital. Like the corporations, the big business don't need capital. They have plenty of
I'm
capital.
talking about capital gains, which is
tax.
specifically with
Reagan.
I'm not talking about.
A lot of people get screwed on capital gains tax.
I think you're talking
so
about
ridiculously high.
Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood you.
Yeah, it's capital gains tax is probably should be lowered, but it's a democratic thing to try and make it higher. But the problem is when you make it higher, you don't have more money exchanging hands in the investment pool. If you don't have more money exchanging hands in the investment pool, prices get stagnant, and it winds up being a problem. Mm-hmm. Another thing, to go back to the healthcare thing, of the free market libertarian response to that is usually that the frustrating aspect in there, which causes a lot of price hikes and so on. And we saw it recently with this like Skanikis dude or whatever the fuck his name was, that was like just he would buy rights to shit. Is intellectual property rights on medicine. If you have intellectual property rights on medicine, then you have people that are able to develop a cure for something, and then they own that cure. So they own the lives of everybody that needs that cure. Therefore, they can sell that to something that is needed and necessary to people that need these things for whatever price they want to try and set it for. And it doesn't become a humanitarian effort, or there's no altruism in that metric. It becomes I own this, so I'm going to set the price for it for whatever's going to maximize my profit so that I can pay for all the FDA shit that I had to go through in order to develop this drug. So I'm going to price it here. And the people that can't afford it, fuck them. And
who was the guy that did it recently? Shekel or Shrek? What was the guy's name?
That guy did something else where there was somebody that already developed the drug and they had it priced at one point where they had figured out where it could be, and then he purchases that intellectual property. Now he has possession of something that is the only cure for something, and he decides to price it from instead of $10 to $1,000 or whatever the fuck.
Martin Shkreli.
That's it.
So he took advantage of intellectual property rights and wind up price gouging fucking everybody
hugely,
and it's mostly legal. Like people do that kind of thing all the time. But because of intellectual property rights with medicine, which intellectual property rights with creative sources, that kind of makes sense. And to an extent, it makes sense that if you're a company that invests all this money into solving a medical problem, you should own that intellectual property because you're the one that made all the damn investments in it. You should reap the benefits from it. But the problem is that the person who does that then controls the cure to anybody who needs it. And it becomes I control the price to this. Now, one of the solutions for that is to get the government involved, and they do something with universal healthcare that offsets that cost, that allows people to actually get access to stuff that is more expensive than they would otherwise be able to afford through communalizing the pool. That way, you could still have intellectual property, and that's one of the reasons why I support universal healthcare. It's not this like there's a lot of Republicans have this got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and afford it, but it misses the point on intellectual property rights in the medical industry. It's one of the looking at that, I was just like, all right, fine, I support universal healthcare as long as you can figure out a way to streamline it in order to make it work in a way that is solvent on the government using it from a business perspective. Like you have to if you can have the government be solvent in getting involved. And it's not just something that spins us constantly into debt, or if you're able to make up that money somewhere else, then fine. But it's very difficult to be able to pull that off, and I'm not aware of a country that's actually been able to do that. If somebody can find that information, I'd love to have that information. That's not like maybe the Nordic countries have been able to pull that off. I'm not sure.
No.
I don't think they have.
They haven't.
It would definitely be more expensive here. We have a large population as far as that goes too. I mean, we have 300 million people. I think the third largest population in the world. So it would be fairly high.
And then there's the cold, callous way of putting it. Of like, if you're looking at it purely from a numbers perspective, then you save money when people die, right? So.
Well, John McCain didn't.
Philip Morris, the tobacco company, actually once one of the Nordic countries wanted to impose a heavy tax on tobacco, and Philip Morris commissioned a survey on how much money would the government save by allowing people to smoke, basically at the cost it was at the time as opposed to the adjusted cost with the tax. And they argued that because people would die earlier due to smoking-related illnesses, there was a net financial gain for the countries.
Wow.
And it's probably true. And it comes right down to it, because if you're not going to die from smoking, you're going to die from extended old age, whatever. And I think there was I read something that like you spend about a third of your medical expenses in the last 5 to 10 years of your life.
That's totally true. Yeah, that's where all the money is going into. It's funny. The irony is, once all the baby boomers die, we're going to be in much better shape in this country, like economically. Like that large.
So they should all pick up.
I don't think you know how population dynamics works.
No, from what I understand, from what I've read, because of the large amount of baby boomers we have, and like because of that, the amount of people that are at that age and that are, shit, I'm a little drunk now. Because I think they're one of the largest demographics, baby boomers, aren't they?
One of them, yeah, but the millennials and the subsequent generations make up even larger demographics than the baby boomers do.
Right, they just don't vote.
Yeah,
They still vote. Fucking assholes.
What I miss?
It's politics stuff. I just hope people vote this time, man. And I hope the Democrats aren't stupid enough to put Hillary Clinton as their nominee again.
That's for real.
Hillary Clinton has announced that no, she's stepping out of politics.
Bernie Sanders is supposed to be maybe doing another his own little party.
Oh, he's definitely going to do. I think he'll run as a Democrat. I think he'll actually run again.
I think he needs to start the progressive way.
Canadian election.
Fossils. Like
We need to get rid of both of them. Start over.
With Canada's election, I'm sitting around waiting for the federal election to come around because we have as our party leader here a Sikh, first ever non-white, non-Christian party leader who could be eligible to be prime minister. And I'm just going to sit back and watch all the racist tweets and posts just fly up.
Is it Trudeau? Is that the prime minister of Canada right now?
Trudeau. Trudeau.
Trudeau. Like that dude's probably going to.
The leader of the NDP is Jagmeet Singh.
But will he lose the current prime minister?
Trudeau? People really, really don't like Trudeau. His only redeeming qualities are
his looks.
He has good hair. Yeah, he's tasty.
He's got good hair. He's got a great ass, and that means he's got good policy.
And
his dad was
he is a handsome guy, man. I'll give him that. He's running
off his dad's popularity.
People do not like his dad.
He's got that like endearing lisp. You know,
that's what he's running off though. Like everything, what he's liked is for the people that did like it.
The funny thing about Canadian politics, though, is that the Conservatives decided to do this kind of attack ad against him during the election, and they showed a video where he was being interviewed by somebody, and he displayed his party trick where he pretends to fall down a flight of stairs.
Oh, God.
And it's like he tumbles, but he does it in a safe way. He just makes it look dangerous, as if someone had pushed him, kind of thing.
Well,
and it's like
because he's athletic. It's like they're like, "Oh, we've never seen
watching him do that is like that kind of makes me like him more, as opposed to hate him.
I bet he can do one push-up too. I bet he can do 10.
10 and a half.
I don't know. Canada's a fucking weird place. We wear watermelons on our head when we go to football games. Yep. So
what we need to do is get it somewhere. Yeah, right.
We can't even do that, exactly.
We need to get it to where in our election you can't spend over $50,000 on promoting yourself. You know, it has to be you actually have to go out and do something.
God, $50,000, you wouldn't be able to buy shit.
It would be wonderful to see all of the campaign ads produced by like 9th grade computer science students.
Yeah, you actually got to do something. You got to get out there with the crepe paper and the markers, and just like back in high school, you're like.
I was blown away by how much your housing prices are up there, man. I watched like the house shows where they buy, first-time home buyers and stuff like that, and places like Toronto, and it's insane, man.
Holy fuck! Would you live in Toronto?
I don't know, but like,
how much are the houses there?
Like they're stupid. Like
they're in the millions.
Yeah, like we're talking for like 1,000 square feet apartment. Like nothing like.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Skylar, do you want to know? Do you want to take a guess
the
how much
between $1 million home and a $200,000 home is simply where the fuck it is.
You're so right. Yeah.
Here's a lovely explanation for you, which is You could buy a small house in Midtown Toronto for maybe $500,000, or take a guess how much 80 acres of land with a 2-story house in Saskatchewan would cost you.
Oh, probably like $100,000 at best, probably
Less.
Wait, no, that doesn't make sense because it takes much more to
120.
build that.
There's just no jobs probably out there, is what it is.
Oh, there's tons of jobs.
Is there?
Like,
Say 120.
usually the value of house construction plus value of land is going to be your base price, but
Yeah, but the
sometimes
thing about that is
we'll go lower
most
than
of the houses in Saskatchewan were built when before the province actually became a province. So it's like I could have bought after they deconsecrated a church out in Choiceland, and I was very tempted to do this. I could have bought that church and the rectory beside it, as well as all the land around it, for $10,000, and just
We could be calling you Pastor Nicola
give
right
me a
now.
call.
I actually am an ordained minister, so
I would do that.
yeah. But the problem is that Choiceland is in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. So
I love land in the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
it's
Oh,
literally
name your church that.
right
Buttfuck
in
nowhere.
Yeah, in
Regina,
church.
Saskatoon.
That will be me. I will.
There is
I will sit there and
nothing
be a
there.
fucking raven.
Man, I would move to Canada in a second if I can get if I can get a fucking visa or whatever it would take for me to get up there in a second. Just to be too cold. That's the only problem. I'm used to Florida weather.
You're in Florida?
Yeah, man. I'm
Well,
like
never mind.
15 minutes.
Yeah, how do you handle minus
Wait,
40?
what?
I'm like, yeah, I literally live
Just
15
broke
minutes
up.
from Disney World.
What? Whoa! Stop! I'm in Altamont Springs.
No, you're not.
Yes, I
in
am,
Yosemite.
dude. I'm in
Yeah, I'm in
Altamont
Yosemite.
Springs.
Skylar, where you at?
Shut the fuck up, Skylar. What?
I'm in
we're gonna
St.
talk later.
Petersburg.
We'll talk later.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
you're,
there you
Skylar,
go.
you're in like Orlando or some shit?
Yeah, I live like Kissimmee,
Skylar's-
which is Orlando. Kissimmee.
Holy fuck, dude! I'm in Atlanta.
Skylar is 15
Oh,
minutes
you're
from me. Fuck you, man. Fuck you, Ocean.
Seriously, I am so close to you guys.
I used to live down in Sanford.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm out near Disney, man. I could get to Disney World like 15 minutes.
I just
Bet your
went to.
kids
Yeah,
love
me
that.
too. Hey,
Hey, Dad, let's
Skylar,
go to Disney World. It'll
we're
only
15
take
minutes
15
away
minutes,
from each
right?
other.
Well, what's funny is my wife works there, so we go all the time, man. I can get free tickets, so I just go.
I
Anybody
just went to Universal.
like
Yeah.
he knows. If you live in Orlando, you always
Check
know
your privilege, Skylar.
Holy Spackle's
Yeah.
not that far from me.
Dude, anybody, if you live in
Oh, that's
Central
cool.
Florida, you know.
All right. We might have to do a little Skylar Tony show. We'll have a
Yeah, I go
live
through Florida all
coming
the
at you
time.
from
I might
Universal.
give you a call.
Just message me, man. Come on down. Come visit. I'll show you
Yeah,
I'll show you.
definitely.
We can do a little meetup or something.
Sounds good to me.
Definitely,
I met up
100%.
with Red
All
Line,
right, Ocean.
you and Hana, and a couple people one time, and
Yeah, I was going to hold a camera for Redline, but then something happened. I don't know what happened yet.
Yeah, well, us West Coasters don't get invited to that East Coaster type.
yeah, man, come on down.
I was
man.
born in Fullerton.
No, they don't care about us Californians.
Too far away.
Well, when I go to California, I know I'm coming over there. I got a place to stay at Steve's.
Yeah, fuck yeah, come on down, man.
What part of California are you
we
like?
got Psycho Wonder Man Magic Mike out. We got plenty of space.
Magic Mike.
Wait, what? Magic Mike?
Magic Mike. Well, yeah, he calls himself now Amazing Mike. We actually got a letter from him just the other day. You know, he must have wrote it that night that he got kicked out because it was just like he even signed it Amazing Mike.
It's more syllables. It sounds better.
He hasn't come back. He hasn't come back for his shit yet. He's only got another. Like, oh,
Time to
he
sell
doesn't
it
come
on
back.
offer
I
up. He
want
doesn't.
this. I'll take that. Shit, we're gonna put the TV in the living room.
Yeah, hell yeah. Uh-huh.
Man, I tell you what. The thing about Florida is like it's cheap. It's pretty cheap to live down here. It's not like the housing prices are pretty cheap. Just the jobs aren't. Like the money's not here. There's not a lot of
Jobs
money.
suck.
You know what I
the
hear
money-
about Florida besides the humidity? You got cockroaches that can eat small children.
That's true.
Those
Those
Yeah.
bugs are not
You
from
I
the
mean, those
platter.
flying motherfuckers.
don't even pay attention to them anymore. Like the bugs and
Yeah, you
lizards.
don't.
Like
It's
lizards.
the love bugs.
Not me.
Hey,
Hell
Skylar.
no. No.
It's the fact that in Florida, instead of rats, you have anoles. Like everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell these water
We got
beetle bug
possums,
things were, but
moles.
they were just.
Hey, Skylar, tell them about love bugs.
Oh God, man. Dude,
love
No,
bugs.
but down here, they're like
I'll tell you-
clouds. They're clouds.
I'll tell you a story
Yeah.
about love bugs. I was camping down in South Georgia. It was me and my girlfriend at the time, and we get out, and we had this like little those pop-up campers
right? It's like it's a flat trailer, and you like crank it up, and the roof comes up, and you can pull out the beds. We go to sleep, come out in the morning, and the entire side of the camper is covered in love bugs. Like we couldn't, like I opened the door and walked out and just saw like random bugs flying around me. It's what the fuck? Turn around, I can't even see the camper. It's just
they get bad. You inhale them. You know how many I inhale in 1 year? Jeez, man, I don't know. It's got to be in the hundreds. Yeah, they're pretty bad. Weren't they made in like a laboratory in Gainesville, or is that just like urban legend?
I heard they were just brought indigenous, like somehow were brought here to control mosquitoes because mosquitoes were so bad.
I think it's urban legend. Because it's the same thing they say with the lab. It's like they say that it was like they were genetically modified to get the mosquito. Yeah. I think it's just an urban legend.
I'm bringing some love bugs to Africa to handle their fucking mosquito problem.
There you go. Just imagine that, though. Imagine like you have. Mosquitoes. Imagine like that courtship if we had it. Like as soon as you put your penis in something, it's like super glued in, and you can never leave. That's exactly what love bugs are.
Yep.
I'll tell you what though, Orlando's gotten a lot better than it used to be. Like I've been here a long time.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of construction right now,
dude. Like when you drive, I-4 is like our major road, right?
Yeah. 2 seasons in Orlando. There's summer and construction.
Yeah, summer. And now when you drive an I-4, there's a giant volcano that you pass because like they build a water park. It's so crazy when you drive it because it's just theme parks like Universal.
Yeah. And then you got the big eye of Orlando there.
The big eye, yeah. Like I haven't been on that.
Do you know on I-4 where that big glass building is? It used to be. It's been up there for like 20 years.
Yeah, it was gonna be a church. It was gonna be a Christian church.
Yes, exactly. I'm looking at it right now. Actually, let me show you.
I-4.
I live right next to it.
You're talking about the cash register building, Tony?
Oh, you can't see it. It's too dark.
Yes, yeah. It looks like a cash register. It's like a big blue.
Exactly. Yep, it looks like an ATM machine. Oh. Yeah, but you can't see it. But that red dot.
It's been there forever. It's like 10 years. The thing's just been sitting there. They never finished the damn building.
Yeah. Now they're doing it now though. I pass it every day for work. Yeah.
Listen, man, Orlando's bustling. There's a lot of stuff going on down here, but it's
there's a lot of money right now.
It's a lot of.
I just moved here from Tampa. Like a year ago. Wait,
well, I was thinking about
crazy though.
I'm thinking about buying a house up in the where 429 meets 4.
Mm-hmm.
In that general vicinity, because
it's nice up there.
Well, they got good internet in the area, so I work from home, so.
Where'd you say 429? Where's 429? Which one is?
429 is the toll road that turns into Maitland Boulevard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'll be right next to me, man. You'll be 10 minutes from me.
Well, yeah, as the toll road flies, yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna be I've got to like get this computer up here. So plus I gotta make a phone call very soon. Do you want to one of you guys maybe at some point continue this on the other channel?
Yeah, I don't know how to do that, but someone should.
Yeah, I mean.
We'll get out of Orlando. We won't talk about Orlando anymore.
I don't give a shit what the hell you're talking about. 70 people listen to you talk about bugs. What the fuck?
I'm amazed that there's many people.
70
people listen to you talk about love bugs.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
And cash register
love bugs is a topic. Yeah.
Well, like George said in the live chat, he said he predicted that Flat Earth would be dead by December, and I was like kind of right. I don't even want to do these Flat Earth the crap no more. I just don't.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm kind of like. I'm ready for when it dies off and comes back again. I'm going to get all my stuff set up and have it all ready so I can be like the first online and really start banking off this, because I can get some gullible people, make some money, maybe retire.
We're gonna have to figure out actually some other kind of conspiratorial thing. Nibiru.
Hello. Yeah, Nibiru, it's coming close. Hey, what's up, man?
But I think the political talk is cool. I'm not going to really get too much into it, but
I can tell by the way you said it, Steve. The way you said it,
I've never been a big fan of the political talk. I mean, I listen to it. It's not an interest I have. I have like OCD or what is it, ADD when it comes to politics. I'll okay, then it's just like move on to other things. I don't care.
You should see the look on Steve's face when philosophy comes up, though. Hey,
not really. I used to be a lot more glazed
you're getting
eyes
there,
about
Steve. You
philosophy
really love
than you
it.
realize. I mean, ask Nicola back 3 years, 2-3 years ago. Shit, I was like, what the hell's philosophy?
Philosophy is God.
It's a topic.
But,
Yeah.
Skylar, why don't you pick a topic tonight and actually go to the GDC channel and figure out how to actually run a discussion there? That's hard.
That's a good idea. Skylar, that's a really good idea.
I made a manner. I mean, I'm pretty sure you have. You just do it like any other hangout.
You're authorized, so that means you got to at least try it out for a ride.
Pretty sure.
See how it fits.
You do have authorization, don't you, Skylar? I know Ocean does.
You're talking
You're
about
right.
your
Skylar.
What do I do?
Yeah, I don't know if I do. I've never been shown how to do it. If not, and I've never done anything on the Great Debate channel.
How to do what?
You got to learn.
Like this. Yeah. Yeah. Not that I know of, but yeah. I don't know. I've had a couple drinks. I don't know. Do we have a topic to talk about? I don't know if I can.
Always a topic to
commit
talk
to that.
about. Ocean could figure. Ocean could do it tonight if he wants to. You want to start something tonight?
I mean, I'll come in for a while.
I know Midnight wants to talk. Tony wants to talk. Nicola wants to talk, and you got so many people listening. So if I have to end this, which I need to do.
I mean, I'm definitely down to go in there and hang out for a little bit. I just don't want to run it because I don't want that kind of responsibility. I don't want that kind of responsibility in my life.
Yeah, it's not.
Too bad.
I knew how to do it. Well, I have a phone, so I really couldn't do it anyways.
Ocean, do you want to give it a shot?
Give what a shot? I've been asking for a while now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you want to go start a hangout on the GDC channel?
Oh, no, I wouldn't know how to.
Oh, Jesus.
Dave, this is right up your alley. Let me
If
tell you
just to
about the
continue
benefits
this
of
conversation, I could probably open up a hangout
actually,
on the
I'm-
GDC channel.
You know how to do it.
I'm actually going over to the geek room.
I think I know how to do it. I've never actually done it.
Do it like
Oh, the geek room's open. I got to go over there
Geek Room's having
for a little
hangout?
bit. Yeah,
the
I don't
geek
think
room's
I've
doing
heard of
their
the Geek
show.
they're doing the show.
Well, they didn't tell me that. I don't like stepping on their show.
Yeah, they're starting their show in 20 minutes.
Oh, in 20 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good.
No.
Could just open up an off-air hangout for people who just want to come in and shoot shit.
That's what we have Discord for.
Oh yeah, we can go to Discord. Let's try
That's
that
why I have
Discord thing.
Discord. You don't have to open up an off-air hangout anymore. You just go to freaking Discord.
Invite me to that Discord, Steve.
How does this work? Do you just give us your login for it to be able to log in and do this? Is that all this is basically?
No.
With the Great Debate Community YouTuber?
When I make somebody a manager, all they do is they go to switch accounts and they'll see GDC, and they just log into that like you log into your normal account.
You just click on your YouTube icon,
Yeah, your YouTube.
Switch over to
CDC, click on that, start live hangout.
You have to give me that
Turn
information.
around.
I can do it sometime.
I'll sit down with you and show it to you.
Yeah.
But Discord's really easy. Like, you could just...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the Geek Room's in
I
our
mean, if
live
you-
chat, so I guess they're not ready to go yet because I don't want to step on them. But look, we got 70 people
at
watching.
this puzzle
So if the
right
Geek
there.
Room starts their hangout here in 20 minutes, go over there because I mean they usually have like 12 people watching. So give them.
What we should ask? What do people want to watch that are in the audience right now? Like, what do you guys want us to talk about?
Porn.
Maybe if you guys give us an interesting topic, maybe I'll go over and do it.
Well, I have to be after the. Well, do it after the Geek Room. How long is the Geek Room show going to be?
We still got 20 minutes, so let's pause.
He's not gonna run a
I don't even know
hangout
what
in
to
20
do.
minutes.
Does anybody want to see
What did that mean?
something?
Skylar, Geek Room's like the Drunken Peasants, but for us.
Yeah, but
Oh.
a little bit more entertaining.
Who runs it? Like, who are the people in it? Anybody
Yeah.
I would know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Brandon and
Wolf,
Frankie.
1980s. Yeah, Brandon and Frankie.
Oh,
Yeah, Brandon Law.
How
still
have
on
you
it. I don't
not
follow
watched the
how
Geek
Brandon Law.
Room? They're like the Great Debate Community version of the. They basically rip on all the shit that we rip on. Only they do it, by watching the videos and stuff. So
Oh, that's so funny. I'm so out of the loop.
You
But
are.
you figure I'd be more involved in the community like this.
they
but
are
no.
they are the official rippers of the Great Debate Community.
Someone's got to send me a link to their channel because I'd love to see it.
I've been trying to
All right, I
promote the
will.
shit out of them, but I think they don't even have 500 subscribers yet, and I'm like, what the fuck? I got to get them up to at least 2,000.
Fuck, it takes forever to get
It
subscribers
does.
on
It's
YouTube, man.
ridiculous.
Dude, it's fucking a long, painful road. Like, it's still.
It is.
I don't even have fucking 2,000 subscribers yet. I'm not even at
I don't even
2,000.
have 4,000 yet, so I feel the pain.
Oh, I don't have 4,000. Like, You jumped up, bro. You went from like 2,000 like a month or so ago to like 3,000.
People have been telling me I'll have over 10,000 in the next couple months, but I'm not.
I got 98.
I think I'll hit 5,000 by the end of the year, the new year. Well, not this year, but next year. So that's my goal is 5,000 in the 2018. But people are like, oh no, you're gonna be double that. I'm like, I don't think so. So.
And we were there. I was there.
People remember when I had 100.
There when he was obscure.
Oh, look at that! Geek Room's got 678 now. I've been shilling for them for a while.
Yeah, me too. I'll do their Facebook and send out to all the people I know.
Shows me that they have 280.
I do that to you too, though.
680.
Occasionally, I can, if I don't forget.
Lucky day, my last.
Well,
I just don't know what videos to make.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I mean, everybody has their own little niche, right? Kind of hard. And the reality is that there's so much content up there right now that we don't really need content providers. What we need is promotionals. We need people to promote these channels.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much out there right now, dude.
I don't know. Ronnie's giving me some good ideas for content.
You talking about Ronnie Moraney?
Oh, Ronnie Moraney. Oh, I think it's Ronnie.
We're fucking getting him in there, folks. Vote Rodney for dumb fuck of the year. That shit is gonna happen, Steve. It's fucking happening. I'm
Tommy Hall.
So hard. Fuck Tommy Hall.
I hate to say it, but Ronnie's got my vote.
How does he have your vote when Tommy Hall is telling people tumors are good for you? I mean, I don't give a shit what Ronnie's
because Tommy Hall is just a troll.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay, I had a lovely exchange with Rodney where it was, I just wanted him to explain one of his arguments. And I tried being as charitable, as polite as I possibly could. And every request was like, okay, can you explain what it is that you mean by value in this sense?
Exactly.
It was, go fuck yourself. You're stupid. You're retarded.
Yeah, I get that. And I got your message, but I couldn't really respond at the time. I was actually talking to somebody.
So it's like, oh, okay, no, like, I don't understand your argument.
But
can
he's
you
a dumb
explain
fuck,
it?
He hasn't been around that long.
No, he's a dumb fuck. And here's the thing. This is why I refuse not to get in the long text debates with people. Because you can't hold them to the fire with this kind of shit. They pull shit with like Rodney does. That's why I was like, have a conversation with me online. Let's do this in video form. Because you can actually hold people to what they say and ask questions.
Dude, I have noticed
it drives me fucking nuts. Yeah.
Like I don't bother with conversations with debates on Facebook as much anymore that I'm not just shit posting because like if you get into that kind of crap, it's unless you're dealing with somebody who's having an open and honest conversation, it's not fucking worth it.
There is no way that reaches a level of, oh, tumors are good for you. Cancer is obviously really good for you because God's designed it. That oh my God.
You agree that an argument that goes as follows, if Einstein married his cousin, then the earth is flat. Einstein married his cousin, therefore the earth is flat.
That's some fucking solid logic right there.
Well, it's not like it's bad logic, it's just not sound.
Yes, structurally, it's a logical proof. But he says that's a good argument.
Well,
exactly. This is why Rodney is gonna. My bare minimum is going to make top 3. He's going to make top 3.
Just because something's just because something's logically valid does not mean it's a good argument. It just means it's good logic, which it is good logic, but it's not sound.
So
stupid.
You could write an if-then statement in a programming language.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is that people in Scholar Fiction's post were painfully trying to explain to him that validity isn't sufficient. Being really structurally valid is one thing. Sure, that's a great thing to have. But it's better that you actually explain how it is that P entails Q.
But he reads a lot about logic. I find it very difficult that he doesn't.
Yeah, you can understand the formulas of logic, but be a complete retard when it comes to actually reasoning, practically speaking.
Maybe are you sure he's yanking your chain a little bit?
No, he was very pissed off about that.
And Nikolai, it was funny because you explained the thing about money to me, and I honestly thought you were joking. Like I was like, is he just fucking with me?
It was like I took the most charitable interpretation I could.
Steve.
Yeah.
I'm even surprised you extrapolated that.
Everybody else needs to shut up. I need to tell Steve something real quick.
Yeah.
So somebody, little fucker by the name of Dragnot, I don't know who he is, sent me a message saying that G-Man is going live with Neffy.
Okay.
And that you should know this.
So division by
zero.
zero.
So if you live in between those people, a black hole will be forming.
That's how the end of the universe is going to start. I'm telling you right here and now.
Oh, what are they going to talk about?
Well, again,
The only thing that
starts
could
at
be worse
6,
is
so
Tommy joined the hangout.
I wonder who's going to talk more, G-Man or Neffy. Like, that's how I feel. Like, who's going to ramble the most?
Apparently, this will be
I
happening
watch it after the
Sunday.
fact, probably.
This
'cause
will be
I
happening Sunday on GTV.
I got stuff I got to do.
Dragon's shooting me some messages.
Hey, Geek Crew, put a shout out to us.
Oh no, good God, guys. G-Man quotes him as being G-Man's expert that he will be interviewing on the show.
Expert, yeah. Nephilim Free is the genetics expert. Yes.
Oh, okay. I have a question for G-Man. Does he agree with Neffy's view that the races shouldn't mix, given G-Man's obvious fixation with white women?
That's deep.
That's a valid question, actually. But here's the funniest part.
doesn't believe
Dragnot remembers this. You guys don't remember this, but Dragnot remembers it, and I remember this. When Nephilim Free got on the scene, this wasn't that long ago. He even stopped doing this. Matter of fact, I've heard him do it. Not here, he's done it. He actually thinks that amino acids are in DNA. He thinks DNA is comprised of amino acids. This is the genetics expert, and we're like, what? For those who don't know, no, there's no freaking amino acids in DNA. Amino acids are in proteins.
He misunderstood the phrase that they're the building blocks of life, I guess.
Dude, he so is convoluted in what he reads. He has this filter of stupidity, and he doesn't grasp anything that he reads properly at all.
Like I'm willing to bet that's like his line of reasoning. He read that. He read in some biology book, it's like amino acids are the building blocks of life. Well, therefore they must be the building blocks of DNA.
I don't know how that would even. Yeah, that's just fuckery all around.
All right.
Wasn't there a time that Neffy got caught with having escort phone numbers in his computer?
Well, it's like he screen shared some article and people looked up and saw his history thing. And it showed one of his bookmarks was to an escort website. Now, is there anything wrong with that? No.
I mean,
But given that this is Nephilim free, somebody who says that, extramarital affairs or premarital affairs is abhorrent and terrible and awful, and also somebody who has the appearance of a person who would have to negotiate the price up with the hooker. That is particularly funny.
And he does have that sex offender look. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, what?
He does. He does.
Nephilim Free looks like a sex offender to me.
Saying he looks like Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, if you heard a generic description of the police are looking for this sex offender, it's Neffy.
He looks like the guy who would write his phone number in a bathroom that you're not supposed to hang out in when you're a kid.
When your two science guys are Nephilim Free and True Empiricism, you know you're on the wrong side of shit. It's just
True Empiricism seems more knowledgeable to me out of the two, right?
No.
No,
actually, I don't even. I don't know if you can make the comparison. They're both fractally wrong on so many things.
It's like asking which one has more brain power, an amoeba or a peanut.
Right. I don't know, because the way I see it, Neffy's bar is pretty low, so I mean it's not hard to be
I think
Neffy
higher. Probably knows the material. I think he can jargon bomb better. How about that? He can make it sound like he knows what he's doing better.
Okay.
Ronnie's just babbling an idiot when it comes to these things. It doesn't like what the fuck is he to say?
Words trip out of his mouth and then fall into a sentence.
Sometimes you gotta play it backwards just so you go, oh, that makes more sense that way.
The only reason why he's coherent is because of Murphy's Law.
I made up a nickname for True Empiricism, though, false dichotomy.
So I guess Reds had posted the links now, so maybe we can start voting, I guess. So good luck, Skylar, on your Rodney thing.
He's on the roster.
I got Anthony Riley on it.
Oh, yes, December 1st, so I guess the voting starts. So I will be promoting probably Tommy more than anybody else.
Who's on the roster?
You want me to give the whole list?
Yeah.
I didn't even write it down. What is it?
We have Tommy Hall, Anthony Riley,
C. Brown,
Betty,
part-time vegan.
Part-time vegan one.
See,
Last year it
Not
should have
Von
been
Helton, is
DD, and then this year we
Yep,
could have made
Von
it Train to
Helton's on
Busan.
there.
All Hell's on every year.
Von Helton hasn't done anything this year.
Yeah, he has.
Well, he has
He
done
appeared
it.
on
He has,
GDC
but not really
and
around
got his
here. He's
ass
been on other
subsequently
channels.
handed to him.
What
He
did he
did,
do?
but then he got kicked off. He said some Islamic stuff and got kicked off, and now he's on VidMe. And
Was he wrong?
yeah, he was talking about the shooting in Las Vegas, and he was talking about how the Muslims planned it.
Yeah, he's always wrong. That's the
God
point.
damn it!
All right, guys, I got to bring this to a close.
I
Because
don't know why people like to make up shit about it.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
later, Steve.
All right, so I'm going to bring things to a close. Go watch the Geek Room. Don't watch the Nephilim and G-Man stuff later. But you got 70 people watching right now, and I'd rather say
Yeah.
Don't watch it.
yeah, I'd
Let's
rather
go
send
to
it
the
over
Geek
to
The G-Man
the
Watch
Geek
the
Room.
Geek Room, guys.
Don't worry.
Go watch the
Steve.
Geek Room. If you haven't watched the Geek Room
It's
yet,
gonna
you're
be
in
on
for a treat.
Sunday.
You know, but
Yeah,
hey, Geek
you're
Room.
right. You're right, Steve. Steve, you're right. This is a good night for that. Actually,
It's a good night
It's
for
Friday
Geek
night.
Room.
Geek Room's perfect. Yeah.
So
You're
Geek
right.
Room, put a shout out to us. I know I'm not going to say who, but there's a person who's supposedly making a video, short little video promoting the GDC. We're not going to say who, but hopefully that'll get out in the next couple days, and then we're going to ask.
Also,
people
I
to
think
share
I'm
that one.
on. I'm on month 20 or so, waiting for G-Man to make a video about paganism.
I've been waiting a year
I
for him
know,
to make
right?
a video on
He-
DNA degrading in water, so it's not. gonna
G-Man made a couple of videos, I think, about paganism on his channel, Marked by God.
All right, everybody.
I want to
so-
make a video on
Although
anything.
I will say, Ocean, he equivocated paganism with Satanism.
All right, I'm going to be stopping the live feed. So thanks for joining on the Rum and Coke
Send me
night for
links.
Flat Earth. I'll do more Rum and Coke nights, but it certainly hell ain't gonna be on Flat Earth. We're gonna have to find something else to go of interest because I'm done.
Social
with the Flat
justice
Earth shit.
warriors.